Okay. Oh, I choked on myself. I choked on my own spit. I just choked on my own. That wasn't a joke. That wasn't funny. Oh, fuck. Oh. All right. Come back to Jesus. We're make it. Go. We're here. Hey, bud. We made it. We made it. Look at you, Fluffs. Oh, you're so. Oh, you're so. Oh. Cute.
A new subscriber arrives. It fills you with determination.
Alrighty, alrighty. Switch over to. Alright, so today what we are going to do is do some community builds. You guys tell me what you want. We're going to build it. Anyone who subs up or donates or anything like that, I'll jump your build to the top. This is a thank you. I definitely don't want to, like... You don't have to donate, is what I'm trying to say. We're going to go through a lot of builds. You don't need to do it, but if you do, it's like a... I want to be able to reward you for it. So... Game last night, so it came at the perfect time. Old red hot Chica Pepper, it's here for you. Night Bard Paladin would be fun to try. Bard Monk for Karlak. It's the best game made by humans. Here. Yeah, we're not talking about making meta builds here or anything like that. But what would you guys like to see? What would you like me to go into first? You can start throwing out a bunch of things. You can say like, hey, can you make me a viable fighter rogue? I don't know. Or can you make like, here's the theme I want, or here's the items I want to use. Let's try to kind of build from there. It might be a little hard to do this, so. Gish Monk? What? Gith. It's Gith. It's Gith. You guys know it's Gith, right? What the hell's going? What's the Gish thing? A vampire? I have a vampire build, Sugo. Where does this game rank for you in your all-time favorite list? All-time favorite games are non-MMOs, because Ultima Online is I think my all-time favorite game. Non-MMOs. It's Fallout 2, it's Skyrim, not in that order necessarily. Fallout 2, Skyrim, Baldur's Gate 2, Baldur's Gate 3 now, Witcher 3. Those are all up there. Elden Ring, Bloodborne for sure is up there for sure. Name for Battle Mage Cash. Okay. I was like, what are you guys talking about? Like, you guys know it's just a gift. It's a gift. Shadow Monk Rogue is the ninja character I'm going to be making in Dominion. We can do that today, whatever you guys would like. A Ranger Druid, Brian. Okay. Here, I'll send the Matt build video. What's up, Darth Barker? Minthara? She ain't in this playthrough, baby. This is the one I made at launch. Here you go. Here's the Vampire Lord. Thank you, Clarby, or Cluvy. Appreciate that. So, if we're looking at a Ranger Druid, what kind of Ranger Druid do you want? Voice audio keeps cutting out for you. It might be a you thing, to be honest. I was also not necessarily talking 100%, so let me know. Is it still cutting out for you, Short Trek Hero? Is this me? 1, 2, 3, check 5, 4, 3. Is it still sounding? Do you hear plosives? Do you hear sounds? Does it sound good? Is it still cutting out? Real G's Massacre the Grove at launch. I was not a real G, trust me. Okay, cool. So what who wanted the fucking okay, Brian Luna, what the hell, man? What kind of fucking druid monk do you want, or druid ranger do you want, man? You ask for someone to disappear? Beastmaster Spore Druid, I think. Okay, there's a little bit of a problem there. A range fighter and healer support. So here's the problem. If we take a look at Beastmaster here, Beastmaster's viability as a multi-class is kind of, it hurts. It needs to have 7 levels invested into it, because that's when you really actually get more value out of your pet, because now you get the fact that they can do bonus action to dash, disengage, and help. That's your big thing, right? But with Spore Druid, Circle of the Spore specifically, level 6 is where we get a lot of our punching power, because that's when we get an upgrade to our Halo of Spores to 1d6, and we get Fungal Infestation so we can summon up zombies. So the only real way to do that is to do, okay, we need 6 Spore Druid. So then that means we do 6 Beastmaster. So we kind of lose a little bit of the viability of the Beastmaster portion. What do you want, Brian, from the Ranger side of it? And maybe we can make this work better, because also, because of the scaling of the beasts, unfortunately, I think this extra attack needs to come at 7 or 8 or 5 or something, because your companion not having extra attack until level 11 is super brutal. I mean, Beastmasters are great as a pure class, but I think it just reduces their viability as far as a multi-class, because their health falls off very quickly, and they just don't get as much fun. Yeah, I was gonna say Hunter could be better for Colossus Slayer. So let's look at Hunter. Let's look at Colossus Slayers at 3. The defensive ones I think are actually kind of crap. Like this is okay. Okay. Like, I just overall don't like that investment. Let's do Hunter Ranger. We'll do. What I would do is, do you want? You say so. You said range, I think. Said Brian. A ranged fighter and healer support. Okay, so then we're only going to do 3 levels into Hunter. I think is the way to go. Gloomstalker is a good call too, just to get Dread Ambusher online, but no, Hunter doesn't need 11. You can be just fine. You can be just fine with just this is great. Once per turn, your weapon attack deals an extra 1d8 of damage if the target is below its hit point max. That's easy to do. That's super easy to do. Yeah, the volley for sure is great, but I'm just saying, like, 3 levels into Hunter, and you're pretty much set. You're good to go. So let's do 3 levels into Hunter, and that leaves us with 9 levels into Spores, which, yeah, we don't get the level 10 here in spreading spores. Hey, Hammer of Tyr, dude, thank you very much, man. Oh, that's right. New server rules. New server looks ominous as fuck. What new server rules? Oh, which reminds me, guys, we gotta swap our goal. We hit our goal last month of 350. We hit our goal of 200 subs and crushed it by like 167 total. 168. Nobody. What? Did I put that in there? Is that nobody? Is that really in my Discord server rules? What incident is it? No, it's not there. I thought it was. You got me, you son of a bitch. What is the incident? All right, so we have done that. Let's press manage goals. Let's hit the goal again. Let's do 200 again this year. Month. March Madness sub goal. Probably Dragon stuff. Not there yet though. All right, guys. So the sub goal is up. If anyone has any kind of Prime subs, anything like that for this month, go ahead and use it on me. I appreciate that. If you are watching on YouTube, do make that switch to Twitch. It will help me out quite a bit. Do you know if it's possible to erase the violent, illicit vein on the face of my character? It is not. Violet. What are you talking about, man? So let's put this together real quick. Go to Daddy Withies. And we'll talk about some gear too. Thank you, Lich. Appreciate it, man. Well, so that's what I was gonna ask. Like, are we? You said ranged fighter. Do you specifically want to be focusing on ranged fighting? Which, in case, yeah, you would need 5 levels of this. Or is using ranged? You want to focus on spells? Is that the range portion of it? Like, do you want to use a bow and arrow, or do you want to use a spell? Oh, that's the old rule. That's the old server, man. Oh, dude. It's time. I don't know what that is. It's time to sync the old server, I think.
An earnest.
That's really weird. Where the fuck is that? Yeah, I just deleted that. I don't know what that is, man. Yeah, the old servers, it's time. I'm not really used. It's time to start booting people out of it.
An earnest disciple.
I don't know if I save it for any reason. Let me ask.
Our modest fellowship expands. Praise the sub.
DP Mool, thank you very much, man. We subbed up for 1 more month. My hero. Hammer of Tyr and Zolo all gave out resubs. Thank you guys very, very much. Yeah, but Brian, I use my bow for weapon. Okay, so then in that case, we're going to go Ranger 5. Let's go back to that. We'll go Ranger 5, which means we go Spore Druid 7, which is still good. 4th level's fine. I mean, I would have liked 5th, but 4th level's fine. Youngster Jazz, thank you for subbing up for 1 month, man. Thank you guys. So what we would do here, I think for
A new subscriber
for
arrived.
this,
It fills you with determination.
you know, I like Bounty Hunter, but I'll be honest, I kind of don't like using Ensnaring Strike. I think I'd rather grab like Sanctified Stalker for, I'm sorry. No, yeah. Never. I think I'd rather grab like Keeper of the Veil for proficiency in Arcana, just to have it and cast protection from good and evil, because at least that's applicable and useful. I don't like this. Okay, so heavy armor is great and all, but if I'm going to be playing a ranger and I'm going to be using ranged weapons, I'm probably going to go with the armor of agility, which is a medium armor. So I don't see the ton of benefit here, and I'm not going to focus a ton on my strength. So I'd probably go something like Keeper of the Veil for natural explorer. If I'm going to bring a thief character, I wouldn't take Urban Tracker. Yeah, I forget to use Ensnaring Strike most of the time, and it's also a concentration ability. And if you're going to also subclass into being a druid, I would just stick with not taking it. Urban Tracker is great though for the proficiency in sleight of hand. If I had already a guaranteed individual who's going to be taking that with themselves, having sleight of hand, I wouldn't take this. But you know, we've had a bit of a range build for actions here. Yeah, I mean, sure, a bearded elfling, but that's not the point. This person wanted ranger and druid. So Summon Familiar is actually kind of nice just to have another additional little body to throw at things. But we would probably go with either fire or poison, depending on what our race selection is. I am unfortunately a wood elf here, right? But what I would do in this case here, I'd probably go with like fire or poison if I didn't go with Urban Tracker. Poison probably being number one over fire, but both will be just fine. And ability score, I'm gonna really want to focus. What'd you do, Goof? I'm really going to want to focus here on my wisdom. You know, I kind of like this more. There, I'd probably do something like that. No, we have not done that yet, Sacred. The Raven for Find Familiar will let you blind enemies. That's a good point, Princess Salam. Oh, that's part of the news. Is that part of the new... What is that? What is this from? What is that? Who gave me this? What is that? What is this? Who is that? Skill-wise, just go with whatever, you know. Don't go with animal handling.
Steadfast supporter.
Can you build an arcane ward mitigation tank? Yeah, I'll build a tanky tank that I have in mind. It's a really cool build that I have got in mind. I will build after this one that I think you guys might like. And I might take some of these and make videos out of them for you bros. So I like this. You know, I know you can drop this down to 8 and put those points into charisma if it's your face character. Sure, go with that. I personally just don't like having my strength below 10 if I'm in any way any kind of martial character. Because I'm going to be wearing armor. I'm going to be carrying heavier stuff. I just don't like doing it. It's a personal preference thing. But having 12 charisma is going to be great. A lot of people go like, oh, you need so much more charisma. It's your face character. I've played and beat the game with this exact character having... like these stats. And it was just fine. It was just fine. You don't need to have 16 charisma. You don't need to go hard in the paint. But I'd go with a stat line like this, Brian, if you like to have a good amount of strength. If not, just make sure you have 16 dex and wisdom, because that's our focus, right? That's where our damage is. So we'll go with that. Min maxi. If I can never throw an attack, would there be a viable way of doing that? Yeah, probably go with like a bard monk or something, because monk seems to have a lot of things that are like monk specific pacification of a situation. Bearded elfling, man, we're not playing like that, baby. We're trying to have fun. If your answer to everything in this game is just save scum it, you might not be playing the best game for you. I know you're fucking around, but still, people will see that and go, "Oh man, that's how I should play." I know, bro. So, ranger, when a ranger druid, you could split it up, but I think if it depends on what your focus is here, Brian. Are we going with a focus of a range character that can cast spells, or are we going with a character that casts spells that can also use a ranged weapon? I think that's where our kind of distinction point is, and I would prefer to go start with ranger over starting with druid, I think. And then if I wanted to go the route of a caster, I would probably put my druid levels in first, and then my my ranger levels, I'd probably do 1 ranger, 5 druid, 5 ranger, and then finish off my druid, or 4 more ranger and then finish off my druid, because getting to 5 druid allows me to cast my level 3-4 spells, whatever it is. So I get access to a really good level 5 is a good breaking point for every class in the game. All your melee classes that can have it get their extra attack, and all of your spell classes. Let's take a look over here. Nope, that's not what I wanted. Go back. 5th level, that's when you get your 3rd level spells. So that's a big jump off point for every single character. So that's why you kind of want, like, whatever one you want to front load, right? Do you want to be martial? Do you want to be magical? Martial and magic, is that a game? You front load that one to level 5, because that's when you get the big stuff. Like if you're a cleric, that's when you get all your really good level 3 stuff. Your fucking thing. What's that, machine gaming? But let's go ahead and put our points here. Fighting style is going to be archery. For this, you know, I would just simply go with something like that. Yeah, I know we can go with other choices, but just get them out of the way. We're gonna get our ritual spells done with. They're on the character, good to go. And for our subclass, we're gonna go hunter. And spell here, I think this is where we just take Hunter's Mark. I think with this route, you just have Hunter's Mark if you need it. You can use Good Berry for healing. You can use this for a little bit of conical AoE, but I think everything else here is just not going to be as fun for you. That's a good point, though. Slimy just brought up, archery depends on if you want to grab Sharpshooter, the feat. If not, then defense can raise your survivability. So that's a really good point. But we're going to go Colossus Slayer here, so for once per turn. We're good there. And now our feat. So now for feats for this character, I think it's going to come down to how you want to play it, right? Are we going to go hard in the paint on spellcasting? I definitely think we'd want to go with something like ability improvement to bring our wisdom up. Spell sniper to get that reduction in critting, whatever it is. If we want to focus more on that. Remember, stuff like Savage Attacker is for melee weapons, so it will not benefit necessarily the approach of this character, which is more on the range side of things. But Sharpshooter, of course, will. Range weapons do not receive their penalties from high ground rules. Range weapons attack with weapons you are proficient with, have a -5 penalty to their attack roll, of course, but deal an additional 10 more damage. It's your typical kind of lower accuracy, higher damage roll. Alert is always going to be strong, especially for this specific build that has no way to tap into this naturally, right? Like you think of a Barbarian, they get a diet alert. There's a +3 to their initiative and can't be surprised, versus alert is +5. So this isn't a bad call. Lucky is always really fun to take. If you want to kind of really lean more into your casting, taking Resilient with Constitution is a good call too. I would probably configure my stats around on these a little bit better. And I like Resilient here more than Warcaster in this situation, because Warcaster is great. It just gives you advantage on a saving throw, versus this gives you proficiency. And of course, what's our difference between a proficiency and an advantage? Advantage is rolling 2 die, choosing the higher of the 2. Proficiency, we're getting our scaling bonus. 2, 3, or 4 bonus. So I'd rather get this and get a half point out of it. But I could definitely see the warrant for Warcaster at the same time. I just, you know, if my character's not going to be in melee, I'm not going to get half the benefit of this. And I think actually, okay, so if we're going 5 and 7, we'll only get 2 feats. So I'm going to assume, Brian, are you? I'm assuming you want to go more of a ranged character that can spellcast, right? What's up, Red 17? That's a really good point. So this is advantage to maintain concentration on spells only. Resilient is proficiency in Constitution saving throws, which concentration is. So there's other spells that might attack your Constitution. You'll get your proficiency bonus on it. Really great point, Princess. Kind of sounds condescending when I say, good point, Princess. Okay, so then let's do that. We'll do Sharpshooter here. And spells. It's always going to be Spike Growth, baby. Although you can get that from your Druid spells. The majority of these you can get from Druid spells as well, too, right? And replacing, I think we're all good. So that completes our Ranger portion of this. Let's now go and pivot to Druid. And cantrips here. You can go with the Shillelagh if you so wish. I think having Guidance is pretty cool. Probably Poison Spray, because the other things are a little bit more... Like this is Thorn Whip, where I pull things closer to me. I don't necessarily want to do that, right? Spike Growth is absolutely amazing. So if we're kind of a range character, we've got a lot of the good stuff here. Having, I think, a backup healing wouldn't be terrible. Entangle can be good to just kind of CC things and then get a little benefit out of it. A nice good range spell with Ice Knife. If your main focus is Dex or attacks, resistance, and guidance, why that? Well, it's either one, I guess, depending on how we would take it. And then this. I mean, you could go with Charm Person if you wanted. If you have a spell cast, you can go with Create or Destroy Water. I mean, Thunderwave is nice because what I like about Thunderwave, it's going to clear things away from me, right? Yeah, Jornizos, I'd say sometimes you would. Like, hey, you know what? I can go with this is the Armor of Agility. Thunderwave, people are stacked up against me, I can go and blast them away. But I think, yeah, having a ranged spell. Sharpshooter depends on Dex. I see what you're saying. Yeah. I think having a ranged spell in certain situations is kind of nice. Yeah, you're gonna take over one over the other, right? But I guess, yeah, if we're thinking about that, we could take Fog instead to blind and obscure things, but you can't shoot into it. So actually, maybe favorite Fairy Fire is a better situation here. Now I've got a way to clear things to get close to me. I can get advantage on my attack rolls, and now I have entanglement, right? Entangle someone. Affinity can't move. Attack rolls against it have advantage. So that'll help overall, I think. Good point, Dronizos. I'll allow it. I'll allow it. Circle the Spores here, because that's what the focus we want to take. Symbiotic Entity, giving us tons of temp hit points, and giving us some necrotic damage on board as well. Thank you. The reason I don't want Fog Cloud is the cloud blinds and heavily obscures creatures within it. This means that I can't shoot into it, so it doesn't really help me. Kind of like Darkness, right? So I guess Charm Person in this case, or maybe even, you know what, I'll take Good Berry, because you can get kind of fancy with Good Berries. And hey, how does Symbiotic Entity work? So you gain it 10 hit points and deal an additional 1 to 6 necrotic damage while you have them. So while I have the 10 hit points, I do an additional 1 to 6 necrotic with all my abilities. And I can cast Halo of Spores with double damage. So Halo of Spores, rather than doing 1 to 4, it does 2 to 8. And it will, I use a reaction to do this. So I could quaff a Potion of Speed. I could use both of my, Meme Berries 100%. I could use both of my actions. I could use 2 bonus actions if I had them from whatever, and then still use Halo of Spores because it costs a reaction to use. Then into here, pair spells for this, for, let's go with Hold Person, because that'll, so the reason I like Hold Person is it's good, but it's not going to be super beneficial to this character directly, right? It will be beneficial because we'll hold them, but attacks from within 10 feet are always crit. So it doesn't directly help you. Yeah, of course, Enhance ability is great, but I'm assuming, too, you're bringing another character online that is probably going to already have Enhance ability. If you don't, then yeah, I'd probably maybe swap out like Meme Berries or Thunderwave for it. That's cool. A platform on a thought that we are requesting builds through. How specific would it be? Not a request. For instance, I'm interested Iron Hand Gnome Tinkerer Bomb Thrower build, but I don't have specific classes in mind. I can do that for you, youngster Jazz. That I would probably just go, honestly, I would just make a throwing barb. Because there's nothing that would makes that's your choice to throw bombs. So I would go with a throwing barb, or I would go with a transmutation wizard to make the actual things. Yes, the 10 hit points go up with every single druid level. So at max, I think you get a shit ton. I can't remember the total amount. Transmuter does get fireball. That probably Youngster Jazz is how I'd approach that. Guys, if you're watching on YouTube, do make that switch to Twitch. And if you have a Prime sub you've not yet used this month, use it on me. Yeah, you could go Eldritch Knight for sure. 10 hit points is 4x druid level. There you go. I think that Eldritch Knight could be a good one. Throwing Barb multiclass. Yeah, that overall would be probably just fine. You just need to make the bombs. So you need to have someone who does have transmutation to make the bombs a little bit easier for yourself. But yeah, we'll go hold person here. You could go with stuff like, like Pass Without a Trace if you want to focus on more like the sneaking aspects of this character. But I don't think we're going to take that route. Kinga Kudama subbed up with Prime. Thank you very much, man. God damn. You know what? I've been watching it's fucking great. Is Shogun on Hulu. Barkskin actually might be pretty useful in the beginning to get some good AC, but I honestly don't think that ranged characters need a whole ton. Yeah, that's the nice thing too, right? We still have good spell slots here. Moonbeam is great, and the reason I'm going to put Moonbeam on here is, yes, it is an action, but once we cast it, it's a shit ton of damage. And what the turn after that, I can do 2 rounds of bow damage, and then use my bonus action to move this from wherever the thing that I initially cast on it moved. So I think you get a lot of value out of Moonbeam, even in a ranged type of character that's trying to use their bow primarily. DP Mool, thank you for giving out 5 subs, dude. It's an action to move it? Oh, you can use an action to move the Moonbeam 60. Fuck. Why did I think that was bonus action? No, I'm thinking of this. No, that's its own creature. Something uses the heat metal was bonus. Okay, that was it. Yeah. I don't know. I still think Moonbeam is just so good because if you think about when you get it in the game, the amount of damage you're going to be able to pour on with your bow is probably not as substantial. I still think it's worth it to have here. Because what I like about Moonbeam and Thunderwave, and why I really like to put them in these builds, on save, targets still take half damage. And then for our feet here, Banneker, thanks for following, man. You know what you could do? You could do, For our feet, I think we take ability improvement. And this comes down to you, Brian. Do you want to be more of a caster here or more of a ranger? Go ranger here if you want to really kind of focus more on the damage, the range damage here, or go wisdom if you want to be more of a druid caster. It sounds like you wanted to be more of a ranger that casts spells, so I'm going to go into dex here for you. And bring this up here. You just say I'm right here, Hazelius. What level is this? This is 10. You could take daylight. And the nice thing is you can swap these out. You're a druid. You just swap these out as you need them. Yeah, DP Mule, that's just so much. That's so much setup. But plant growth, I think, is the go-to here. Just you kind of have to be careful that you don't accidentally burn the plant growth. But plant growth is not a concentration ability. So you can cast spike growth and then plant growth on top of it. I don't know the reaction to both, how it works. I don't know if it overrides it. I'm almost positive it doesn't. I think I've done it before, but I can't remember. But spike growth is a concentration ability. Plant growth is not. So that's a pretty nice advantage. And creatures move just shit slow here. So damn slow. There's a lot of advantage from there. And we got Animate Dead and Gaseous Form for free, but whatever. And here we go into level 6 Druid, which gives us Fungal Infestation, and now we can summon up corpses. That's going to be huge for us, right? So now we can have a whole army that can go out and do attacking for us while we're hanging back. And in this situation too, you can go with maybe Call Lightning. Do a little bit of damage here. It is a concentration ability though. Enhance ability if you don't have it on someone else. If you want to go with Dark Vision, you can. But I think you kind of have the primary spells squared up, and we're pretty much waiting here for level 7. In which case, we would swap off and grab. I would probably do this, and I'd probably get Conjure Woodland Being, Conjure Minor Elemental, and do one or the other. Actually, I think you can do both, but you have to keep in mind with your spell slots, right? You only have one level 5 spell slot. So you'd have to use something to give you a level 5 spell slot back. But you could have both of these up in conjunction with all of your fungal zombies while you're being a ranger spellcasting character, while you're also being a ranged damage dealing character. And I think after I chose one of them, because once you summon it, you can just swap it off the bar and just put something else in. I'd probably do. What spells would you have? Fifth spell becomes ranger. Exactly, right? We have one level 4 spell slot. I think actually we have 2. You guys think they'll release additional content from DLC? Greasy Panham, I think we're getting something. What's up, Orchid? How you doing? All right, 2-4. Okay. So yeah, you could have a really cool army behind you. You can focus on stuff like Ice Storm, which is again another takes half damage type thing. So I love that. Wall of Fire, it is a concentration ability, so you have to keep that in mind. Same thing here with Stone Skin, but those are all really, really great capabilities you can use just depending on how you're going to approach every fight. And the nice thing too, like I've said, is, hey, we do this, we're done. I press K, and I just swap out the spells that I need. That's the important thing here, right? Is that, okay, I've done what I want. Let's do... What's it doing? Level 4. Okay, so we got her. And let's just do this. Just to kind of make a point. So, okay, now I've cast Freedom Movement on myself, which is going to last until long rest. And I could even... I think in this case I can't. Let me check. Oh, I can. Okay, so we removed it. So I basically, with my level 4 spell slots, I've got 3 level 4 spell slots, which is nice, by the way. I cast Summon Woodland Being, then Freedom of Movement, and I still, of course, it cost me those spell slots, but I then just removed them from the bar and put Ice Storm. And then maybe I go ahead and do Minor Elemental, and we do, you know, I'm just going to put an Azure here. I've never seen them. That's what. That's what they look like. Oh my god. I've never used that ability. That's romantic, dude. So now I've got that, and I haven't even gone and used my Fungal Infestation on corpses to go get 4 corpses to run alongside me. We can then go ahead and pop into Symbiotic Entity. And we get 28 fucking temp hit points that are just going to sit on us. Gear-wise, I think you're pretty good with a lot of what I've got on. I'd probably swap some gear off, though. It just depends on what you're taking with you, Brian. Are you taking a lot of other spellcasters? Then you're probably going to be jammed up for stuff. But like having something like the Cloak of the Weave on your character might be a good call. Give you some spell save DC, right? And absorb elements. Or... Ooh, that's new. I don't like it. 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 Or Armor of Landfall when starting your plan on plant growth surface or vine surface regain. That's kind of nice for you since you do have plant growth. But Armor of the Spore Keeper. I think we'd probably go with Armor of Agility because this you're gonna get spell save DC, which is nice when dealing necrotic damage specifically. And when dealing necrotic damage, they deal an additional 1 necrotic. I'm sorry, I'm stupid there. You get +1 spell save DC, and you get your symbiotic entity. You can spread Biberbang spores, Timosk spores, and Haze spores. So you can go with. It's honestly between these two armors. I think is the better armor for the character. You can get. I think Arcane Acuity would actually work pretty well here. Because this just says deal damage with a weapon attack. So Arcane Acuity could work. You could go Hood of the Weave if you just want just straight up spell save DC. I should have the shape. Now, why this would be nice is that shape shifting charges are what you use for your symbiotic entity. So you can put it on, cast it, then take it off. But I think, Arcane Acuity is probably going to be your go-to. I don't even have all the items in here. Isn't that crazy? This is the majority of the items, but I'm still missing some big crucial ones. I would probably then go to like leveling up the character. Did I bring anything back? You'd be fine with that one short bow that gives advantage to monstrosity. Yeah, only with this armor. Only with this armor. This one right here. I don't think I have the Band of the Mystic. Maybe I do, actually. Isn't there a search bar? Where the fuck's the search bar? Going on the screen. Yeah, well, I'm definitely missing some stuff. But you could even go with something like
Our modest fellowship expands.
Rachel.
Praise the sun.
You crazy bitch. Thank you for subbing up. Look at you. Guys, if you're watching on YouTube, make that switch to Twitch. Twatchers. We're going to need twatter. Legacy of the Masters would probably be really good for your shots. Until you get Legacy of the Masters, though, I would definitely get Gloves of Archery. You gain proficiency in longbows and shortbows, which is great. But basically, you want the extra damage to your ranged attacks. That's going to be pretty crucial for you. Any kind of mobility boots, like Disintegrating Nightwalkers. I like the Boots of Persistence because they just give me freedom of movement and Longstrider. They're just fucking expensive. Weapon-wise, just go with anything that's going to increase your crit. I think that's the kind of way to go. You could go instead with a staff, some sort of staff that helps with spell save DC. That's not a bad call either. I don't think I have any.
A new subscriber arrives. It fills you with determination.
Maybe it smiles. Thank you very much, man, for subbing up a Prime, my dude. Helldust gloves aren't bad. Yeah, I don't think I actually have them on this playthrough here. Yeah, the Boots of Stormy Clamor, I'm pretty sure I don't. They look like this. I think I can go buy them. I think they're someone's place. You can also go with this ring. This necklace, I mean. It just gives you +1 wisdom. Ammelium, that's right, Ammelium. I can't buy from Ammelium right now. I can go steal it from him. He will, but not at a, like... I've already progressed the story to a certain point where now he won't sell to me. But he will sell them to you in Act 3. Armor of Moonbasking is not bad. But it's if you're focusing on wild shape, of course. So, it's not going to fit this character. I just wanted to point it out as another really good druid armor. But that's your character there, Brian. Is that kind of what you're looking for? You can, again, you're going to have a legion of summons. Plenty of spell slots. Oh yeah, Boots of Striding are pretty good. Okay. They look like Gith boot. Maybe they're on someone.
Another loyal devotee.
Oh, here they are. Yeah, these are great. When you cast a spell that requires concentration, you gain momentum 1, but while you are concentrating, you can't get knocked prone or be moved against your will, which is great. Hey, thank you for following. So that is this character. Let's go ahead now and... So here's a character I have in mind. See if I remember off the top of my head. I don't remember. I don't... So yeah, it's kind of like that DP Mool. Let me build out the character really quick. I need these. I don't know if I talked to you and Jornizos about it, Salami, but it's the healing character, the self-healing character. Every time they heal, they get all the advantage, right? So we use Ring of Regeneration to trigger that heal, though. So... it's healing reactive items. This is one of them. Or the gloves from, what's his name? It does. It does. It does. I think the Blade Ward effect doesn't work with Self. It does. Because we checked it. Jornizos, I think, checked it. Oh, they didn't. Got that. We want the one that this. This is just going to give us a guaranteed bless. And this is a tank character, so we don't really necessarily care about the healing. We wanted the perioperative wound closure, but we don't have it, of course, on this character. Mother's Revenge. Which one is this one? Where is heal this weapon becomes? I don't have Broodmother's Revenge, I don't think. Whispering Promise, we've got Ring of Solving. What's this one? No, Whispering. No, that one's okay. Slippery Chain Shirt. Oh, that's right. The Slippery Chain Shirt is cool. Herbalist Gloves, Hellrider Pride, Reviving Hands, the Boots of Aid and Comfort. Boots of Aid and Comfort, or they just heal you or give you 10 hit points? Yeah, 310. Okay, so that's not necessarily worth it. Yeah, and Sarevok's sword. So we want to kind of go heavy armor. Armor persistence does give Blade Ward and resistance, right? But I think for this character, though, we don't necessarily need to go with armor persistence. We can. But we could... I think we did... Did we say bear? I don't think we said bear barbarian. I think we said Ancient's Paladin and something else. And maybe it was simply wizard. Maybe it was just the arcane ward wizard. But we want this character to be like immovable. And I was gonna use the defender's flail. We don't have that. The defender's great axe isn't a bad one. I don't think I've got that. You get that. I think you get that at that's a vendored item, I believe, right? Yeah, we don't have it. Not on this character, at least. Do we do greatsword though, or sword and shield? Because I feel like the sword and shield is the take I want to go with. It's a defender's flail is kind of the way to go, I think. Defender's flail. And because the defender's flail here, as you can see, it does this. Reduces incoming damage from all physical attacks by 1, basically. So, Quartermaster Tally, that's it. Defender's axe, I don't remember being that great, though. When making your first attack of the round, you can reduce the weapon's enchantment by 1 to increase your armor class and saving throw by 1. Yeah, I don't like that very much. Sword and shield doesn't use protection, correct. But I could also just use defense, which is just use armor. What's up, Kiyoshi? Well, we're not doing dual wielding. Like, this is, I think, like, we use a specific armor, and I can't think of it. I think it was supposed to just be Illustrious Mail, which I don't have on this playthrough. I wonder if there's a way to, like, console command in items. Does anyone know how to kind of do that? Also, thank you very much for subbing up with Prime. Yeah, Rippling Force actually could be really cool. Gain Force Conduit when taking Slashing, Piercing, or Bludgeoning, and trying to stack Force Conduit. Force Conduit, though, doesn't come very easily. There is the one shield. Oh, that's right. I was looking at that one shield that stacks Force Conduit as well. I think it's called Rippling Force Shield. Let's see. Rippling Force. Force Mail. We'll do Force Conduit. Sources. It's the Shield Conduit. That's, yeah, this is it. This is it. So the shield shrouds wear with Force Conduit at the start of its turn in combat. Stupid looking shield, unfortunately. Yeah, this is by the Dragon of Rivington. So that's what I thought would be kind of cool is you stack a bunch of force damage, reactive force damage into this character. You could go with this. This gives you shield, which is cool, but maybe we go grab that shield real quick to kind of showcase that. I don't know if we have the money for it, but I think we'll be fine. And also, this is really cool armor. Like, no one really showcases this armor enough, but it's really fucking cool looking. I don't know why this music makes me, like, sad. Because I remember, like, the epilogue and this music's playing the whole fucking time. And I'm like, it's over. I don't want it to end. Someone else have it end, because I don't want it to end. Let's try it. Let's try it. Let's try it. Let's try it. We could go just simply kind of a what weapon did we take? I mean, unfortunately we don't have that damn Defender's Flail, which is just kind of very crunchy for the build. Reduces our damage even further. Yeah, DP Mule. I'm taking what you wanted and showing you what I wanted. But it'll also kind of be in line with what you want. Don't worry. Because I have been on this build for a long time of having a bunch of... What's up, Kirazan? Having a bunch of healing reactives. So basically, whenever the character... You'll see what happens when I jump into a turn. You'll see all the effects that are going to kick off. I guess, I mean, honestly, you could just use Feller Luve. It's just such a solid weapon. In lieu of having a really good one. Helmet. Again, I think the original genesis of this build idea was to use these items and then use the chest and the headpiece that trigger off of luminous stuff. So you have one part of this that is healing reactive build, and the other part of this that is radiant damage reactive. And you go Ancient's Paladin mixed with something else. I kind of like the idea of going Wizard or Eldritch Knight right now. Oh, dude, Wilk, I didn't know what you were talking about at first. I was like, does he? What's he mean? Like, playing through the game, this music didn't really mean much. I was like, oh, yes, quiet time. I get it. But once you beat the game and you go to the epilogue and this is playing, you're like, my journey's at an end. What do I do, bros? You know, the flawed Helldusk helmet, I think, is one of my favorite helmets in the game. I think I put all the gift stuff. What are you talking about, Jonathan? Oh, that was the helmet we were going to use. Fucking duh. I have a kind of stupid idea. At its core, it's a bar with a bunch of items to bring kid to roll as many as possible. With reckless attack, every attack should be as likely as possible. Yeah, I would do 9 Berserker and 3 Champion for that. And really just use whatever you want. Maybe probably this. Even more AC, right? And I think if you have the perioptive wound closure, you go with the perioptive wound closure to maximize your healing. That way, every turn, you are getting 6 hit points, which isn't a lot. It's not a lot, but Displacer Cloak is good, and I agree with you, Salam, but I think this character is so stacked in a direction that I don't care about getting hit, so I'd want that Displacer Cloak on someone else in the party. But let's throw this on there for just max Constitution. Let's go get that shield real quick. Oh, sorry, John. I didn't see that. There's a Knight in Shining Armor melee Warlock will. It'll need to multi-class from but torn between Knight, Cleric, and Paladin. What so Warlock, so you want to do Pact of the Blade Warlock. And do you want to add more spell casting? I'd go with Cleric or Paladin. Or if you want to add more fighting power, I would go Fighter. Yeah, the Flesh Melter Cloak was what I looked at too originally to have that reactive damage. I just put the AC one on here though because we're gonna stack AC with this character. Because again, the point of the character is not to take the damage, it's to reactively have damage kind of fly out from them.
We'll figure something out. I'm fine. You're the one who took a beating. Survive the beating. Let that be the end of it. Make things worse.
It's more to just kind of like hold the line. Yeah.
Back again. Want a dagger? Oh, yay!
God, it's jarring. We've got the money. We've got the power. And I know a lot of people don't talk about it is this one, the Ambusher. You gain +1 bonus to initiative rolls and an advantage on perception ability checks. In a combat, you deal an additional 1 to 6 necrotic damage against creatures that haven't taken a turn yet. So you throw this on your Gloomstalker Ranger, and it is a ton more damage.
Want more? Want less? Wanna sell? Wanna buy? You know where I am.
Yeah, Gloomstalker Assassin, sorry. Yeah, it only works for 1 turn, but still. It's in an offhand slot on my character that's using range combat. I'll take it.
I've got a long road ahead.
I don't agree, John. I think, yeah, turning it into 2d6 auto crits on your first round is really nice because it's just occupying an offhand slot. I mean, yeah, there are better ones once you get to the end game, but I still think it's really, really solid. It is such a dumb looking shield.
Another step forward.
Okay, so let's go over here to old Withies and let's make the actual character out. So I like 7 Paladin, 5
Fate
Wizard.
spins along. Dost thou require a new ally? Or mayhap as thou desire?
Right, exactly, Wilk, exactly. Dude, look at that guy. Look how Bustamante that is. So I like a little Paladin action. They changed this. The icons are smaller. Both of the Ancients here because we just want more healing. And remember, this triggers on the turn you cast it and the second turn you cast it. So it's a really, really, really good combination here. Oh, I remember how we were going to do that. It's a 6 Ancients Paladin, 6 Light Cleric. That's why we were going to use all the Luminous armor, Salami and Johnny Zos, because we had all the access to the light damage through the Light Cleric and the reaction of improved warding bond. So, Man, thank you, dude. So, DP Mule, let's get to your character in a second. I've got an idea for your character. So, let's do this. Yeah, and Smites are Radiant. We have just tons of Radiant Source. So, let's do... in this playthrough, I have devised, quote unquote, I'll show you my Light Cleric. It's 10 Light Cleric, 2 Wizard. And you do those 2 levels of Wizard, you go Evocation Wizard, so that you don't need to worry about your spells hitting your bros. Tara, you too. You do miss out on stuff like Feast and Summon Planner Ally, but I think what you gain from it is a lot of utility. Kind of, yeah. Well, not necessarily even the luminous orb stuff. The luminous armor, which throws luminous orbs, and then the helmet too. Let me get the helmet. Let's show off the armor I'm talking about. Luminous armor. So when the wearer deals radiant damage, they cause a radiant shockwave. Maybe not Helmet of Smiting. I think it's called the Radiant Helmet or something like that. So this is a 10-foot radius. I apply 2 turns of Radiant Orb, which is -1 to attack roll. So it's way harder for people to hit me. Luminous. It's a helmet. Is it the Helmet of Smiting that does that? No, that's not this one. That's a 10 hit points one. Holy Lance Helm. So creatures who miss their attack rolls against the wearer must take DC 14 Dex saving throws or take 1d4 radiant damage. We stack that with this. When the wearer deals radiant damage, not from a spell or it's when I deal radiant damage, period. So I have reactive radiant damage tricking off. I have every turn I get a slew of buffs. Like, this is a really cool build. It's a really, really, really cool build. I just don't know how to add that armor into this game. So let's put our decks up. Constitution we don't need to worry about right now because I've got the thing that sets it up, right? So you could actually kind of like respec this build. So Princess Salami, that's why I had I had the amulet and the shield that gave me shield. I guess I could use that cure. I hate to do it. Yeah. We can go with something like that. The con's only on this screen, Salam. I think that's it. I think that's what I want. Now look at the character, though. So our AC right now is 21. I know. We could, but 6 Paladin. Yeah, it's exactly, yeah. I'm trying to show that off. So 6 Paladin gives us Aura of Protection, and that's why I went with 16 Charisma, because it's 6, well, it's Paladin level plus Charisma modifier, right? So we want that. Just be, oh, that's, fuck, whoops. Saving throws. There it is. The saving throws is your Charisma modifier. Jesus Christ. So we just have Aura of Protection on. It just adds that survivability. I do like the idea of tapping into the Sorcerer for the shield, but I kind of just really like this approach. Guys, if you are watching on YouTube, do make that switch over here on over to Twitch. It does help me out a bit, yeah. So, defense I think is to me the kind of clear winner, but you can also go with protection when you have a shield, impose disadvantage on an attack against your allies that are within 5 feet. I don't know how often that is. What I like about defense is it's just a flat. It's always beneficial. It's there. You don't need to worry about it. You're good. The protection, they have to be within 5 feet. And okay, that then requires me to kind of go run over to them to be like a Final Fantasy IV Cecil. So I like it, but you just have to have other melee characters. Yeah, exactly what Salami said. You have to have other melee characters with you. Protection is a reaction. Doesn't show it there. It used to. Doesn't show it anymore. Matt, thanks for following over here. Hydrate Man, or Hydrate Boon, I will. Yeah, you have Warding Bond too. That's a big thing, right, Johnny Zos? That's gonna be my my protection is great, but I'm just gonna have Warding Bond. All the builds. That's BG3 Wiki. That's where I do all my. This is BG3 Wiki where I use everything. You know the music. This from music reminds me of Ultima Online, and I think that's why I like it so much. Warding Flare. Yeah. We were talking about warding the Warding Flare from level 6. Not Warding Bond. So defense here. Prepare spells, it just doesn't matter, right? Like, I wouldn't ideally want to go with any real concentration spells. Like a Bless. But Heroism could be good for temp hit points and being immune to Frighten. Sure. Shield of Faith would be nice, just to a flat increase to our AC here. It is a concentration ability, so you just got to keep those things in mind. But I think the character wants to use their spell points for the Cleric side of things or for Smite. So kind of keep that stuff in mind with this build, I'd say. And this is for weapon attacks only, so throwing whatever I want here. Sure, whatever. Fine. Cool. Divine Health, so prevents disease from affecting you. We get our Turn the Faithless and Nature's Wrath. Yes, we do, because we are ancients. Yeah, and that's that. I was gonna say Spirit Guardians is gonna be where our concentration resides. Now for our feats, we're going to get access to 2, and you can go with ability improvement and increase your dexterity for more AC. You can go wisdom for more power with your cleric spells. You can go charisma for a better advantage on all of your charisma based things. I don't know if ability improvement's really the way I'm going to go though. I think heavy armor master is it, because I'm trying to be as much of a tank as possible. This does increase my strength by 1, so I could probably figure that out and how I would make my stats work a little bit better here. But incoming damage from non-magical attacks also decreased by 3 while you're wearing heavy armor. So boom, we're kind of set there. And then for other feats, you could actually go Warcaster here, because Warcaster is going to give us the ability to use Shocking Grasp. You do get advantage on saving throws here. Resilient Constitution is going to be really good because we're going to be making the concentration saving throws with Spirit Guardians. Sentinel is going to be nice because now we basically have a way to shut down people as they try to move in and out of our opportunity of attack, right? Our range, right? So when an enemy within melee range attacks an ally, you can use a reaction to make a weapon attack against that enemy. Target ally must not have the Sentinel feat, and you gain advantage on opportunity attacks. And when you hit a creature with an opportunity attack, it can no longer move for the rest of this turn. So people moving within your sphere of influence can kind of get locked up, and they have to stay within your sphere. And I think that kind of brings me back to, we should have for sure use Compelled Duel until we would focus on Spirit Guardians. Force an enemy to attack you, giving a disadvantage against other targets. And also, Shield Master is pretty good. You gain a +2 bonus to Dex saving throws while using a shield. If a spell forces you to make a Dex saving throw, you can use a reaction to shield yourself and diminish the effect's damage. On a failed saving throw, you only take half. On a successful, you take none. So this is actually pretty nice. I think it's going to come down to you, how you want to do it. So we'll do Heavy Armor Master for sure. Prepare some spells. I actually really just like Magic Weapon. I think it's really just a simple, awesome way to get good damage in. And Aid is going to be a great way to just buff our health up. Right, exactly. And we get our Aura of Protection, which is going to give us a +3 to saving throws to everyone around me, 10 feet. And we pop this over to Cleric, and we go cantrips. And we'll go, I mean, we can go with Blade Ward and Resistance. They're not going to be that huge. We'll get Guidance. Our domain is going to be Light. Our deity can be whatever we want it to be. And for spells, we can go with, I mean, we can get some range in here with Guiding Bolt, which will always piss me off. We can have Sanctuary on the character if we want. We can get Healing Word. Great point. Lesser Restoration is useless on a Paladin since Lay on Hands Cure does the same. We get Healing Word active. Leather Enthusiast. So I'm playing for the first time. What can I do to truly make Shadowheart a valuable member of the party? So do I want to keep her a Cleric? Does she need to be a Trickery one? If so, what do I go in for that bag of tricks? Dude, I would just make her a Light Cleric. Just go 12 levels into Light Cleric. That's what I did. And it's such a fun Cleric. Such a fun Cleric. So we now get Radiance of the Dawn. So we can just get a huge explosion of Radiance damage. And if they save, they still take half. So what I like about that is I like damage spells that when they save against them, there still is damage that's present. Versus a spell that, hey, it does a lot of damage, but they save you, you lose all the damage. Like, ah, fuck.
Another loyal devotee.
And we're just going to kind of push this up here until we get to level 2. And we'll get now Scorching Ray and Flaming Sphere, which is not really crazy for the build, but they're there. We've got them if we want them. We can get stuff like Prayer of Healing, just to add a whole nother little bit of healing at the end of the game, at the end of like a combat if you want. You can go with Blinding someone, which is going to only help you out, right? Attack rolls against it have advantage, and foes attack with disadvantage. You can go with Spiritual Weapon, just to add another body onto the field. Probably actually do that. You can get Warding Bond. Those things do help. You'd probably want to use it. So they gain resistance to all damage and 1+1 bonus to their armor and saving throws. Each time the ally takes damage, you take the same amount of damage. So you can use this to kind of make it a pretty cool way to benefit yourself. But they're the ones getting the bonuses. You're just taking the extra damage. So kind of take that with a grain of salt, or take that as you would.
A new subscriber.
Snowman, thank you for subbing up, my bro.
Fills you with determination.
And for feats here, I don't know. Sentinel, Warcaster, Resilient, Constitution. What do we think, bros? I kind of like Resilient Constitution. Wisdom's okay. It's not necessarily the driving force of the character, though. We're not doing tons of damage with it. What I like about Warcaster is it just gives me like a free shot of Shock and Grasp. Like, that's kind of fun. Sentinel does kind of fit the character. You know why I'm going to take Sentinel? Because I like never take it, and I talk about it all the time. So I'm going to take it. I think there's probably better ways to do things, but I really like it. Your guides are helping me get through to honor mode, so I wanted to say thank you. Absolutely, man. Very much appreciated, dude. And that does very much help. It's my full-time job. Yeah, this is pretty much a support character that's going to tank. Sorry, I just burped into the mic, man, like a fucking godless savage. And we're definitely going to go with Spirit Guardians. That's going to be our big focus here. I mean, yeah, I can go with Glyphs of Warding, but we want this character to absorb damage, take damage. Yeah, the beard is coming back. We switched from beard to mustache, or from mustache to beard again. Well, for the first time. This is actually pretty good, but it's a concentration ability, unfortunately. That brings us one more level here. And this is why we went level 6. It's for this. Improve Warding Flare. So when an enemy attacks an ally, you can use a reaction to impose disadvantage on the attack roll, possibly causing them their attacks to miss. Never going to bring back the mutton chops. I think it's a pretty simple build. We unfortunately won't be able to use everything here, right? But let's show you a little bit of what it can do. And we get a lot of really good abilities just because we're light. Like, we got Moonbeam on this character. I'd love that. And let's kind of go through the armor here. So let's just see what happens when I heal myself. Or I get healed.
No time to waste.
What the fuck? Oh, this is, by the way, this is... She's a level 10 light cleric with 2 levels into evocation wizard. So she has all these spells she can tap into, whatever she wants, right? All these spells are here for her. Yeah, but Spirit Guardian still does half damage if resisted. So it doesn't, the running in range of me, the character's role is just kind of to absorb as much damage from characters. So we're gonna heal this guy. Oh, that's weird. None of his reactors. Oh, it's dumb. I have to do the healing. So let's do this.
Come on, let's go. There we go.
Have a lot on my mind. And, well,
This should work. Did you really?
Honk honk.
Okay, so we stacked up Force Conduit right there. We got 2 stacks of it. And we actually, if we had started this combat, we would have had more stacks. So bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing damage against the affected entity is reduced by 1 per turn remaining. So we would have started combat with 1 stack already. So that would have given us now 3 stacks. So now we take 3 less damage. Let's just bring up this little combat dialogue here. So my attack roll was a 3. Damage roll was this. Now, it would have been 31 damage, but we reduced it by 3. Now I'm going to swing again. Okay. We reduced it again by 2 because of the Force Conduit here, right? Let's hit again. And Force Conduit null the damage. And now Force Conduit's up to 4. So if the entity takes damage while it has 5 or more turns remaining, it deals 1 to 4 force.
can't give up now.
And if we take a look, start the turn. Okay, good. Okay, good. Game Force Conduit. Okay, good. So what's what happens when we end this turn?
Whatever comes, I'm ready.
Long environmental turn.
Looking ahead.
That's weird. I think I actually have to be in combat for it to trigger. Because what would happen is I would heal 2 hit points plus 1 to 4. Let's just say that it was 6 hit points. I'd get 6 hit points. I'd jump up back up to 97. And I would then trigger this. When you heal a creature, it gains the effect of Blade Ward. So now I have Blade Ward on the character, and we know that Blade Ward does this, has resistance against bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing damage. And Whispering Promise would also now trigger Bless, basically. So when you heal a creature, it gains. These effects count as healing myself. Count as me healing a creature. So it just constantly buffs me as I'm taking damage, as I'm sitting through damage. And damage is now harder to hit. So I don't have to waste time casting Blade Ward on myself, stuff like that. I think taking like Elixirs of Heroism are really good in this case. Peerless Focus is really good in this case. Peerless Focus being this one. It has advantage on saving throws against being charmed and for maintaining concentration. Arcane Acuity could be okay. +1 bonus to attack rolls and difficulty for each turn remaining. So you'd use the Battle Mage's Prowess. Elixir. Those could be 2 really good ones here in this case. But basically, it's just we're turning this character into a veritable tank. Yes, Sofalar, we have a build in mind that we're doing for Gale where it's 9 wild magic barbarian, 3 4 elements monk, and you use the Fangs of the Fire Fist because that adds 1d whatever fire damage to your melee weapons. But this is the tanky build. Yeah, I can upload that one. I haven't built it out yet. Thank you. Down my bros. Where's my fucking blue pen, man? Prejudice. My favorite pen ink color. Yeah, I mean, you can go, yeah, you can definitely go pure Elements Monk. I just think it falls off. Pen, puppet. So four elements. Good Dark Urge build for honor mode. Whatever you want, Mr. Scrim. Whatever you feel like playing. Let me check some cool stuff. Oh.
An earnest disciple.
My pen. Isn't Unicorn Overlord coming out soon, bros? Oh, it's coming out for PS5 and Switch. That's kind of. So I wanted to get it on Switch, but I kind of want to get it. Is anyone else getting Unicorn Overlord? Or is it just me? Am I the only fucking loser who's doing that? Got 68 of you over here on YouTube. Do make that switch on over to Twitch. Anything else? What do you guys? What other builds would you like to see? Do you got? I can build out the Gale. Let's build out the Gale 4 Elements Monk one. Get Helldivers 2, Brian. Get Helldivers 2. You know, I actually don't. I don't encourage. Having played Tavern Brawler Monk,
Have to keep going.
I don't encourage it.
What's on your mind?
Really? Really, really?
A bard build?
Oh, fine.
God, dude, this
Okay,
blurred
it's your
background. It
turn.
just looks so much better when they talk now. Oh God, Gale, don't start something.
The annals of Asus.
Don't talk about your anals in front of me.
Was truly full. That devil Raphael was telling the truth, and this
I don't want to watch this.
is no mere journal.
I want to hear him
Collect the
discover it when I play with him.
and the three nether stuff.
No, don't tell me.
Promise you,
Oh
gods will.
God.
Brain obliterated because ambition is not a sin. The question that.
Okay.
Always a pleasure to share a moment.
Yeah, I have a necromancer build, Jordan.
If not in the way I once envisioned. What do you need of me?
With pleasure. Lead on.
I actually have a Dill's Ice Grills. So this character, what? Minsk, I have made. So Minsk come from oh, okay. Shadebane, that's cool. I love that. Did not know you could do that. Damn. Love that. So, Dill's Ice Grills. Here's what I did. What the fuck is he? Oh, there he is. Oh, God damn it. Look at Elminster. He's like, I have to talk to you, dear boy. So, can I, where do I? So, OG Minx was not a barb. OG Minx was a ranger. He's always been a ranger, but he's always had a ranger berserk feature. So my Minsk is 9 ranger hunter, 3 ranger wild or barbarian wild heart. Yeah, Minx has always been a ranger. So this keeps his ranger thing. It brings a berserk to him, and you could go with berserker, but that may be more thematic. But I really like the idea of Minx being a wild heart barbarian because they're so fucking good. So you go bear wild heart barbarian, 9 levels into hunter, go Colossus Slayer. Alternatively, you could go Beastmaster if you wanted and just have more beasts, but it's super in line with the character, and it's actually very good. Yeah, you could definitely do that. You could definitely go Beastmaster and go a boar barbarian. It's definitely the way to go. It's definitely the way to go for Minx. You can do that with Karlach too if you wanted though. It kind of delivers a little bit more fun flavor than the typical 9 barbarian 3 champion. Because Colossus Hunter, whatever the hell, it's really good. You could even just go. You could just simply go 3 ranger. Wait, yeah, I did that. Oh, yeah. I'm sorry, guys. This character is 9 wild heart barbarian, 3 hunter ranger. No. The Beastmaster summon is not a concentration ability. Because the default Minx in this game, I think, is... I think they made him a barbarian in this game. I can't remember what his default is. I re-rolled him. Let's go to Gale here.
Charmed, I'm sure.
He's a hunter ranger by default? Okay.
I shall be here in thy camp. As thou desire.
If I were to make a Dritsto Erden build, it would probably be like... It'd be like 9 fighter, 3 ranger. Because Dritz is a fighter. He's a dual wielding fighter who learns a little bit of ranger and then goes back to being a fighter. His progression's like 5-3. 5-3-3. What's up, Neurodivergent? How you doing, dude? So, we start off here with Gale. What did we do before, bros? Do we remember what we did for him? I'm good, dude. How have you been? You can't stack unarmored stuff here, but we are gonna go with armor, so either one won't really matter. But we're not gonna. What's the damage profile here for this? BG3. Yeah, there's no scaling for this off of it. And we're just looking for the buff anyway, so it won't really matter. So I think we do this. And we scale it up or level it up. We go ahead and grab Wild Magic, which is just really fun. Let's take a look at the Wild Magic table real quick, just to show you why we take that. Stop. There. Ah. Here's Wild Magic effects. None of them are bad. So Magic Infusion. So you deal 1d6 additional force damage and gains light and thrown properties. So you can throw it and it does its full damage. And if thrown, it appears in your hand. So if you have Tavern Brawler, you can actually weigh into that. Enemies that hit you take 1d6 force instead now. Anyone that is within 10 feet of you gets +1 to their armor class. Intangible Spirit, you get a bonus action where you can summon a little spectral flump. And that will spectral flump will explode. It's such a fun fucking ability. Bolt of Light here. So each turn, choose to shoot a bolt of light from your chest, which is very Gale. And that deals 1d6 and blinds a target on a failed con roll. Vine growth, flowers and vines spread outward from you in a 15 feet radius. Difficult terrain for everyone. That's like the only real negative one. But teleport, earn each turn as a bonus action, choose to teleport to an unoccupied space. So you can just teleport with the character. And then lastly, Shadow Tendrils. Each creature within 30 feet must succeed saving throw or... Oh, this is also the bad one too. They have to succeed a Constitution saving throw or take 1d12 necrotic damage. Additionally, you gain 1d12 temp hit points. So it's one of the... Like, you only have 2 real negative ones and they're not even that bad. Right? Like, this is just... Okay, you're going to take some necrotic damage and this one's difficult terrain. It's only 2. And as this progresses into level 6, and we'll get into level 9, that's the top end of what we're going to go, we'll be able to actually recover level 1, 2, or 3 spell slots. So being able to recover those on, say, another Barbarian, or another Paladin, another Cleric, another Wizard, whatever, is really fucking good. This is level 10, but we're not going to get there. When you enrage, when you take damage or fail a saving throw, you will trigger another wild magic effect that replaces the current one. This is cool. Kind of adds to the random effect of it, but we don't want to have that happen because we still want our wild magic effects. They're very fun. Level 4. And then I think, honestly, you could lean into the elemental adept of this and actually kind of go into fire. The spells cast and attacks you make ignore resistance to fire damage. That's actually not a terrible idea. I actually kind of like it. But I think probably we go stuff like ability improvement. We don't need to go with alert because we're a barbarian and we're making it to feral instinct. So we get +3 to initiative and can't be surprised. So we don't need to worry about alert, which is nice because it's a really, really good feat, right? It will stack. We would get +8, but we don't need to do it. I'll put one. You don't want to lose it. Use to reroll. Oh, that's pretty cool. You just not react. So ability improvement for increased strength might be a good call here, depending on how you take it. If you don't want to go with elixirs or whatnot, if you want to make a dual wielder, you can go with a dual wielder. I think great weapon mastery is probably going to be the go-to because we're going to be using a great weapon the whole time. I probably should have gone through more of them, but we'll jump back to that. Get our extra attack online, fast movement while not wearing heavy armor. We're not going to wear heavy armor. And Savage Attacker also is another big one I would have shown off. So now we can bolster magic here. And boon, you or an ally receive a 1d4 bonus to attack rolls and ability checks, which is cool. Get to 7 for our feral instinct. 8 for our other feat. There we go. Get the rest of these going on here, right? We don't really need resilient. Nothing really cool there, but Savage Attacker, I think, is probably the big way to go. When making melee attacks, you roll your damage dice twice and use the highest roll. Lucky can actually be pretty cool here, too, though. Luck points to reroll a lot of the stuff that you're going to be rolling. Mage Slayer could be useful. I kind of... Depends on how I would approach the character, but I think ultimately I wouldn't go with this route. Because a lot of the times you're not in melee range of a caster. Tough for insane HP. That is actually a pretty cool idea. Because remember, every class has a different HP scaling. Barbarian has the highest per level HP scaling. So up to this point, you would get a ton more hit points. That's actually really cool. Yeah, you know, there's just so many ways to kill concentration, though. I don't know if I'd waste a feat on it, Johnnyzos. Yeah, Rage halves all bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing damage. So you just super fucking nice. Yeah, I think it depends on how I want the character. Do I want a ton more hit points? I would go tough. Do I want to just do a lot more damage in melee? I'd probably go Savage Attacker. In fact, I'll probably just go with that. You know what? No, I'll go tough because I don't think I've ever taken it. I want to see how much total hit points we're going to have at the end. We'll get to level 9 for our improved criticals here. And we get bolstering magic, blah, blah, blah. There's the other one. There's unyielding, or whatever one that when you rest, you get full hit points. Neurodivergent. And now we pivot over to Monk, which is going to give us a Fury of Blows. And we're going to get Unarmed Strike, Monk weapons, everything here. Okay, Yogi it is, my dude. We got our abilities to move, really nice. And then we lastly get our Ways of 4 Elements, and we focus on this one. Hit your foes from afar. Your next melee attack deals an additional 1 to 4 fire damage. It's really nice. You can get a chromatic one here. You can push people. The Fist of Unbroken Air is really nice. The Ice Cube is hilarious. It's just always funny to me. You can double down on fire capabilities here with Cinder Strike. Expel fire from your outstretched hands and ignite anything flammable. But what we like about this is hit foes from afar. Your next melee attack deals an additional 1 to 4 fire damage. So we can use this capability, then use our bonus actions to do more fire damage and stuff like that. So we can have a lot of fun layering here. Really, I've never seen it, John. Let's grab it. That's the character. And then really you could stack the typical kind of gear from it's the Gith headband. I actually really like the water whip too. This one. When you succeed a saving throw for that cause, that throw takes 1 to 4 psychic. This one. Be decent, lady.
Direct me.
This inventory. So let me equip some stuff. Baldur and Greatsword's good, but you know what actually is probably pretty good for this build? Is this. Hellfire Great Axe. Whenever you deal damage with this weapon, you gain 2 turns of heat. Oof. Thick as fuck. And why I like that is heat does this. Engulfed by eventual fire, take 1 to 4 fire damage each turn, but you can use heat convergence. Consume your heat. The next time you deal fire damage, you deal an additional 1 fire damage for every turn of heat. It won't work for. I like this one. It's just going to give us outright bonus to our 10 hit points whenever rage, and we reduce more damage. Things now are going to take piercing damage. They can't, Bearded Elfling, because monk weapons... Here's the rule for monk weapon. It can't be two-handed. Where is it? Attacks with monk weapons. There it is. Monk weapons are those which the monk has proficiency and which do not have the two-handed weapons or heavy weapons property. In this case, a greatsword would be both. And just like this would be both. Thank you, Yuxi. I appreciate that. Glad you are enjoying them. Like this. And I like also this. Because, so I like these gloves a lot. Your attacks ignore resistance to slashing, piercing, and bludgeoning. That's cool. But I kind of like these more because it leans into our 1 to 6 fire damage that we're getting from our Fangs of the Fire Snake. There's also more. And acuity could be fun here. This song is so haunting. Keeps me up at night. You're probably right. I'll say DC probably isn't going to help him either. I'd probably just go straight up AC onto him. I got a cool fucking... Who's Gith? What? I did 179 health. What a fucking Charles. My singing voice is beautiful. Songbird of a generation, my baby. Probably because we're not benefiting from anything. Is it? Ah. You know what actually we could do? Here, here's a cool hat we could use. There's probably a better one I just can't think of right now. I mean, this is actually pretty good. And also get a more immolating gaze, but you have there's 3 hats that all grant arcane acuity based off damage type. Well, this is, but
It fills you with
when you deal fire damage, you gain arcane acuity. I'm Gale the Wizard. Sandra Bullock just gifted 1 tier sub. Thank you, Rachel, for your kind donation to the party. Oh. There's another good helmet I can't think of that is fire damage related. What's the best build for lightning charges? I don't know. Off the top of my head. Yo, mama. Whenever you burn an enemy, you gain 2 turns of heat. Oh, these are pretty cool gloves. Whenever you deal fire damage, you gain 2 turns of heat. How quickness is... What? Where? Does it spell damage? You deal fire damage. This is whenever you deal fire damage. Oh. That's the hat I'm thinking of. This one right here. Yeah, when you deal fire damage with a leveled spell, you burn yourself in game. That's what I was thinking of. Thank you. Yep. I don't know. I don't know if it's considered a leveled spell. It's a class action, not a leveled spell. This is the hat from the cow. One of these is the hat from the cow. Might be the cold brim. Yeah, I think honestly, Hell Dusk. Shit, dude, you could even use the Hell Dusk heavy armor for this build. When you succeed a saving throw, the caster receives burning for 3 turns. You take 3 less damage from all sources. I actually don't think you can. Oh no. Can all the other stuff because it's not even an armor classification, which is cool. So, Gale will now have the ability. This is actually kind of nifty. I mean, this is probably not the best. Not a lot of keeper combat, you're right. But all I got to do is do this once, right? And Flurry of Blows I can still use. So it would still be like, okay, let me this, and I would also be doing wild magic in this case. So assume I've got wild magic up, but in a turn I could this guy's stacked, right? But I still then have... Oh, I think I just lost Fangs the Fire Snake. But I had the Fangs the Fire Snake up. So I would have been able to... Let's just try it again. Yeah, to the person who's resistant to it. That's a good idea. So that's like an example right there of like... Yeah. No, it wouldn't. Because Fangs the Fire Snake is an action. That is then a bonus action. Oh, the key. Okay, I thought you were saying... It's 2 turns. I get what you're saying. But, I mean, obviously I'm not going to do a lot of damage in this instance. Because it reduces damage against your friends. But it would still do a substantial amount of damage here. This is from Short Rests. I can go kill some. Hold on. Can you just calm the fuck down, Will?
I'm here. I won't let...
Oops, wrong direction.
You're exhausted. You've been pulling all night to keep watch.
with hill giants without breaking a sweat.
No, all of his health. Oh, I know where all of his health went. Well, good lord.
Witnessed assaulting someone.
Oh.
I wonder if this is worth the cost.
Oh.
Survival is all that matters.
Can you throw a potion of haste and have it do the same thing as quaffing it? I've never thrown a potion of haste. There's no way I'm out of speed, not haste, that's why. Yep, works.
Forever dauntless.
So, take a look here. Dude, Health Flame Cleave. I've never seen Health Flame Cleave. So, we're going to rage. Yeah. Let's come over here so you can see a good rage, huh? Listen to the most intimidating rage shout in the game. So that bugged out. It's supposed to be a yeah. So he got the magic retribution one. So if people hit him, they do force damage to he does force damage back. So let's go shoot this. It doesn't matter if it misses or not because we just had to use the ability. We don't care if the damage actually triggers, but now we have Fangs the Fire Snake active. So affected entities' fists are flickering with flame. And what you should see what just happened. We used Fangs the Fire Snake. It counts as an attack roll. So I now can follow this up with just doing an attack. I don't even need to use a bonus action or anything like that. I can just go ahead and do that. Or we could go ahead and do this, which would need to require a whole action, I believe, yeah? Casting spell is blocked. Oh, this is a spell. Damn it. Reckless? Oh, the attack, yeah. Good. Precisely what I thought would happen. Exactly what I wanted to showcase. Ooh, what does this look like? I've never seen it. Oh! Love that. Love that. And I mean, yeah, that used a whole action up, right? But still, what we did with this, anytime we do a melee attack, and that doesn't count as a melee attack, unfortunately. Game couldn't watch today, but we'll watch later. Thank you very much for watching, LT. But it's still really cool that we can layer a lot of really fun damage into this character. They still have... It's a monk ability, yeah. This is Poor Elements Monk. I still have functionality I can do with this character. I think it's a really, really, really cool way to play Gale that is not just your typical caster, while still actually having him tap into magic or mana or some way or another, right? He can still use his bolstering magic. This is in or out of combat, right? I can go and just replenish someone's spell slots. Or I've got this little guy right here. You or an ally receive a 1d4 bonus to attack rolls and ability checks. Like, I love that you get all these little fun characteristic capabilities. They are replenishable on long rest, but still, it's a button I can press that gives someone a level 3 spell slot back. That's pretty strong. I'll just skip through stuff and see if we get any reactive shots onto him. And that's the force conduit thing back at him, which is this thing. So a lot of really cool abilities with that. I like that. I like that build a lot. Let me reload and let me go pee real quick. Be right back. We just did a Wild Magic Barbarian, 3 levels into Monk. 4 elements Monk. Alright, we're gonna watch a trailer. Your Paxel Blade Warlock any good? Yeah, absolutely, JRS. Let's take a look. So with Pact of the Blade, we're gonna get through all this, right? So we're gonna get all of our Eldritch Invocations. We're gonna get up to our 4 feats, and then we're gonna get Mystic Arcanum. And Mystic Arcanum is a level 11 Warlock class featured in which they learn one level 6 spell. So you'll get one of these: Arcane Gate, Circle of Death, Create Undead, Flesh to Stone, Eye Bite. All quite fun. Depends on your. I like Great Old One a lot. I haven't looked at their level 10 stuff in ages. Great Old One is Psychic Resistance and Psychic Reflection, which is nice for the latter portions of the game. You'll get Dominate Person, Telekinesis, Dominate Beast, and Evard's Black Tentacles, which is a pretty good spell, actually. And Entropic Ward is very good. Impose disadvantage on an attack roll against you. If the attack misses, you gain advantage on your next attack roll against the attacker for 1 turn. That's why I like that with the Pact of the Blade Warlock. Conversely, though, the Fiend one is nice because you're going to get more temp hit points when you kill someone, and you only get 10 hit points from one source. So whatever kind of is the most, you'll get it. So if like, what I mean by that is like if something has, if you get 10 hit points, 10 temp hit points, and something else says, well, here's 5 temp points, temp titties, Tems, titties, tenny Tems. Then the game's going to look at your source of temp hit points. So again, if you have that 10, this is such a hard way to explain this. Reset. You have 10 temp hit points, and you hit, and you now only have 3 temp hit points. Well, something is going to give you another 5. It doesn't add up and become 8. The game will check and say, what is your temp hit points? Okay, cool. You've got 3. We're not going to give you that 5 because this is a 5 temp hit point score versus your 10 temp hit point score. So you can't stack, but you can't override existing temp hit points unless it comes from a greater source. In this case, Dark One's Blessing is the same source. So every time you kill someone, you will replenish your temp hit points up to that temp hit point amount. In this case, charisma modifier plus warlock level. So let's just say you just did 16 charisma and you never touched it. That's going to be 3 plus 12. So you get 15 temp hit points every time you kill someone. So Fiend is really good. Fiend also has some really good ranged abilities like Scorching Ray and Fireball, which I really like. And Dark One's Own Luck is really cool. Call on your patron to change the fate and add a 1d10 to an ability check. What I don't like about it is it's a recharge on short rest versus the Great Old One. Just both of their abilities, there's no recharge. It's just active all the time. Wall of Fire is good. Fire Shield is really good. Cone of Cold is fun. Flame Shark is very good. Fiendish Resilience, choose a damage type and gain resistance to it. You can pick a new damage type each short rest. So it's kind of cool to be able to cycle those. That's a fun thing that you can do. And then there's Fey here. Fey gives you Fey Presence, so you can Charm or Frighten. Again, does recharge on a short rest, is what it is. I don't like their first level spells. They fall off in effectiveness. I don't like their second level spells. Their third level spells are good, but they're not amazing. Misty Escape, upon taking damage, become invisible. On your next turn, you can cast Misty Step, though this will break your invisibility, but it's a recharge on short rest. That's kind of why I don't like Fey, is that both those abilities, it's just shit because now I lose them. I got a short rest, so I can't use them multiple times in a big long battle. Give me 1 sec, Zach. I'll get to your question. Dominate Beast falls off in usefulness real quick into the game. Greater Invisibility is good. Dominate Person is good. Seeming not as anymore. And Beguiling Defense. You have built-in Stoic. For some reason, there's a part of my brain that wants to call Stoic, and I don't know why. It started when I was a kid, and it's always been there. So Stoic buries your heart and mind and cannot be charmed. So for me, Fey for Pact of the Blade Warlock is the weakest. I don't get a lot of benefits from it. So it's going to come down to dealer's choice. But if we're going back to this, we get Eldritch Invocations, right? We're jumping into 12. So we're going to get 4 Eldritch Invocations. We get Devil Sight, so we can see in all sorts of darkness. Agonizing Blast, so that's always good. Repelling Blast, that's always good. But then as you jump into the kind of the later stuff, you can have a lot of fun. There are some that are exclusive too, right? Life Drinker's kind of cool. It's kind of, I think it's slept on a lot. I think it's kind of fun. Your melee attacks deal additional necrotic damage equal to your charisma modifier. So you add your charisma modifier to your weapon attacks all the time to do necrotic damage. So you could lean into it in a certain direction. Seeming does have a lot of uses, Francisco. Zach, let me read your question here. Learn outer mode, play with a half-orc as a Ballis Paladin. Gale as Mr. Immortal, Karlach as the Throw Zerker, and Asterion as the Moon Druid, if his happy a bonus applies to in Wisdom. It does. And I have a few questions on that build. Which permanent buffs do I need to prioritize to which hero? Hag's Hair, Mirror, Stay, etc. Honestly, don't worry about prioritizing them to specific characters. I would say just kind of play and see what you feel you need to give benefits to. This is a Mr. Immortal. But like say for Karlach, giving her the Hag's Hair is wasted, right? Because you just simply would buff her up using an elixir. I would just no Hag's Hair for her. Asterion though is Asterion as Moon Druid. Okay, well Wisdom is not easy to buff in this game. Strength is super easy to buff. Constitution super easy to buff. Intelligence is easier to buff. Charisma is probably the easiest stat to buff. So what I would do is I would say, okay, well Wisdom's pretty hard to come by. So outside of a feat, I could get 17 Wisdom and use the Hag's Hair there. Exactly. Like Hag's Hair on Strength is really not useful. Or same thing with the Mirror too. Like just kind of go with, yeah, Hag's Hair on Constitution would be probably better than anything. So Seeming will do the whole entire party, Francisco. So there can be times where you want to get through things, or maybe you want the whole party to be Gith, so you can use Gith items. Stuff like that. I mean, I wouldn't go out of my way to use it, but it definitely does have usage. Yeah, you do get a pennant that sets your Constitution to 23, but that's also kind of wasted, you know? Because it sets your Constitution to 23, but I don't think it applies to Shapeshift. But what you should think about, Zach, since you are going Moon Druid, Hag's Hair and things that buff apply to the character in shaped form. Items don't. So Hag's Hair and the Mirror will benefit your character, their forms. So take a look at your forms and see where their strength is and where their constitution is. If it's a 17 strength or 13 constitution, take the hair that corresponds to the buff that would benefit the character for the primary form you want to use.
Subscriber arrives.
Also keep in mind that Resilient is a feat bonus, or any feat bonuses like that, those will benefit your forms. I don't think ability improvement does though. Disco Hobbit, thank you for subbing up my man. Go back if you have done, but have you looked at a Barbarian monk with bare heart? Well, Jamie Dune, you're in luck. That's what we just did. So go back probably about 45 minutes, maybe an hour, maybe a half hour. This character is a wild magic barbarian with 4 elements monk. You could do that with a bare heart barbarian instead. I didn't know bare heart damage was not being added correctly. It still felt fucking strong. But yeah, you could definitely do bare heart barbarian here in open hand monk. Excuse me. But we're back on the conversation here about a pure 12. Who wanted the conversation about this? Who's asking about a pure blade lock? It's juniors, JRS. You still here, brother? Because we're looking at Eldritch Invocations for you. Book of the Ancient Secrets is really cool if you go Book of Shadows, because you get Ray, Sickness, Chromatic Orb, and Sound spells. I love it. Is that the only other one? I thought there was one that's unique to each. Yeah, absolutely, man. I'll do that next on the channel if you want. I've got the ninja build too. We can do the ninja real quick as well. And Johnny's Zos, you can help me out with that right now. Melee attacks, additional necrotic. Yeah, I mean, Life Drinker is cool. I just think it's fun. I think this is a cool way to do a warlock. It's just pure Blade Lock, and you do that. You can also go Minion of Chaos to get Conjure Elemental, but the cool thing about going pure Warlock, though, is that we can get access to the spells, right? There's unique invocations. I think it's just this one, though. Oh, I thought there was one that is. This is even if you chose to not choose Pack of the Tome. I thought there was one that's like, oh, if you've got Pack of the Tome, you need to take this one. Maybe I'm dumb. I mean, I would default to Princess Salami's knowledge on this stuff. It is usually always right. Yeah, I guess not. But you as a warlock can get the Gale quest, right? You do the Gale or Will quest to get the Infernal Rapier, and then you can get the ability to summon up a Cambion, which is a fun little ditty. And that weapon itself is very good, right? This one's great. +1 bonus to spell save DC, and then it naturally has your Blade Pact capability, which is fun. But summoning up the Planner Cambion is really awesome. But what you can have a lot of fun too with the with a pure warlock using, like, I really like the duelist prerogative, and I think what makes the duelist prerogative so fun is you stack it up with the innate necrotic damage you are going to do. So while your offhand is empty, you score critical hits when rolling a 19. Moreover, you gain an additional reaction per turn. 2 great things. On a hit with a melee weapon, use a reaction to deal additional necrotic damage equal to your proficiency bonus. What I like about this is this couples with a Great Old One's Entropic Ward, which I love. So, and on a hit with a melee weapon, use a reaction to deal additional necrotic damage equal to your proficiency bonus. And you also deal charisma damage worth of necrotic damage whenever you hit. So you're dealing a lot of necrotic damage, and then you throw in your Hex, which adds more necrotic damage in. Yeah, that's a great point. So, Princess Salami said, create undead could be really fun if you have fear as a spell, because the mummy can multi-attack frighten enemies. Also good for a Great Old One crit ability, because the Great Old One crit ability can frighten people. So you stack those things up, and it's very fun. Cantrips, anything else at level 12? Just a feat, that's it. The Warlock spell list is also pretty... I think the Warlock spell list is kind of easy to look away from, because people kind of stop around here, right? That's where it stops. I like this. This screen looks a little bit better. This is where people kind of stop, right? You get the Hunger of Hadar, which is one of my favorite abilities. Hypnotic Pattern is fucking stupid strong. Vampiric Touch is great. All these are concentrations, so keep these in mind. Fear, you get Counterspell, all great. But once you crest beyond that point, beyond level 6 is where people kind of like stop usually. You're going to get Entropic Ward. You're going to get level 7, where you get Banishment if you so wish, and Dimension Door, a really great ability. But now you've started to jump into level 8, level 9, get Hold Monster. But you also are going to get Dominate Person and Telekinesis for Great Old One. When the hell do you get... level 11 is finally when you get your 3rd Warlock spell slot, which replenishes on a short rest. Very, very fun. I'm hesitant to play it because unless you play a Githyanki, you're stuck with light armor frontliner. Thanks, Yuxi. I appreciate it, man. I play a lot of like Helldivers. I mean, I play Last Epoch on my own. Like any of the games I cover, I play, I like, I enjoy. Like, I just didn't want Baldur's Gate 3 to become a game that I was making videos for just to make money. Armor of Shadows would, but what I don't like about Armor of Shadows is that it seems wasteful. Yeah, Elven Chain can be worn by everyone. The Helldusk armor can be worn by everyone. If you get 4 invocations, let me take a look. If you get 4 invocations, I would get Agonizing Blast. The reason we're talking about Armor of Shadows is you get mage armor, which is great. But someone else can cast mage armor on you. Judge Dredge, thank you for cheering with 100 bits, my dude. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4. And you could probably get rid of Repelling Blast and go Armor of Shadows if you wanted to. Yeah, being able to fight in shadows is so strong. And you're probably going to be using stuff like the Potent Robe, which you can use also to the Displacement Cloak, Cloak of Displacement, to just have a lot of fun. And Devil's Head is so strong because there's a lot of things in Act 3 that will try to blind you or cast darkness on you, and you can just see through it. Hey, thank you for following. Guys, if you're watching on YouTube, do make that switch to Twitch if you can. It does help me out. And also, if you have a Prime sub you've not yet used, use it on me. I mean, honestly, I would kind of keep him almost as he is.
Still breathing, despite everything.
Shetland Apache up in this house. That crazy fuck. Can't trust a man like Shetland Apache. The Gibbous of Worshipful Servant is cool. Start of the combat, the wearer gains momentum equal to their charisma modifier, and you gain advantage on concentration saving throws. The con bonus to armor. Which one? Are you talking about the advantage Constitution armor? Or are you talking about the Dwarven plate that increases your armor by your Constitution by 1? Or what is it? Oh, it's right here. Dwarven Swimmill, Constitution plus 2. Yeah, thanks, you. Yeah, I mean, like, I think the important thing is with my YouTube videos, I watch YouTube videos on my own. Every night before I go to bed, I'm watching like a history channel thing or a history YouTube channel, one or the other. Or if I'm playing video games, don't hate me, I used to watch a lot of Extra Life videos until I found Fighting Cowboy and Cool Name Bro, the two best Soulsborne channels. I just don't care. Like, as someone who does YouTube, I get it. I understand what we're all doing. We're all going through it. I don't give a fuck about your Patreon. I don't give a shit about all the things until you've proven that you have information that I want or a presentation style that I like. And I'm not shitting on anyone. We all have to put food on our table and all these things. I get it. But I feel like the best way to do that is, here's my presentation style. Here's everything. You want it? Fucking stick around. Not deuces, bro. Like, I don't want you on my channel wasting my fucking time the same way that you don't want to be on my channel wasting your time. Because if I don't give you what you want, you're going to just leave a shitty comment that calls me an asshole. Which, let me tell you something. After doing this for 5 or 6 years, reading poisonous comments all day, it affects you. So, you get the information. If you don't like it, you fucking leave. So, people will still leave the, like, mean comments. They'll be like, this fucking video wasn't helpful at all. And I'm like, and I just hide the user from the channel. I'm not going to, it's my platform. It's my channel. You leave your comment there, I delete it if I want. Because I'm not going to sit here and scrub through negative comments all day to find the useful ones to respond to. You leave something that's non-constructive. If you say, hey, didn't like the video because the way you structured it was like this and this, I would have preferred you approach it like this and this. Dude, absolutely great comment. But if you said, this video didn't help me at all, you're a fucking loser. You are off, my bro. I gave you all the info at the beginning. You could have left at the start, my dude. You did not need to be here. I don't know, Bearded. The Abjuration combo thing, it needs to not be a level 0 spell. So I don't know if Armor of Shadows counts as a level 0 spell or not. It just says it doesn't cast a spell slot. People get their jimmies rustled about that kind of stuff. Like, you deleted my comment? Like, yeah, you didn't add anything to you. You didn't add fucking value. You just spurged all over my channel, bro. I used to type it out. I used to like, okay, let me give you my stance. Let me talk to you about this. And I'm like, why am I typing this out? Like, I'm a child of the internet. I grew up in the golden era, right? Of you're the man now, dog, and something awful, and steak and cheese, if you know what that is. I'm not gonna lower myself to fucking throw band-aiding words in the comment sections of my own videos where it's just dross anyway. Absolutely, maybe. Glad I helped you out, my dude. Grew up in the forge. Chris Baldwin's in the house, guys. Everybody said it. Pre-memes. Pre-memes. When people used to be making news reports where like a meme is making the rounds on the internet in the hit website 4chan. That's why when I see people say the word based, I'm like, there was a term for you on the board that we would use. It was new, then started with the word F. I don't know if you can though, Beard, because I just don't know what it is. Like what it counts as. How to do a Bard Sword Paladin? You would do 2 levels into Paladin and 10 levels into Sword Bard. Some Dark Urge builds both going into the Resisting the Urge. As a console player, you maybe want to play Last Epoch so bad. Play it, Anakin. I want you to buy it. Yes. A Grudge Hammer build. I have a dwarf like defender build I want to do, but it just uses the dwarven thrower because it's actually still a pretty good weapon. And uses like dwarven shit. You like that, Chris? Dude, this isn't even like a good one. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Oh god. Oh, I'm so sorry that wait. The review point, what's the most OP build? Open hand Tavern Brawler Monk. Although someone did a chart on Reddit for like what's the most damage in one turn. And it was one of the fire builds actually. OnlyFans build, baby. DP Mool, if you're still in the house, what I would do for that, I would do like 6 Warding Bond, or 6 Abjuration Wizards, 6 Eldritch Knight for the kind of like tanky Abjuration. I have that build, I think. Eldritch Knight. Come here. Of course, Emily. Hey, are you so sleepy today? Are you so sleepy because it's raining? Oh, you are so sleepy, man. Really, I really ran you, did. I'm gonna get my fucking lumbar support pillow from Secret Labs. This place is a sham. Dude, you want to pet this dog, Chris? This dog wants you to pet him. You guys want to see a picture? Actually, never mind. I won't. I was gonna show the picture, Chris, of Roman asleep on your stomach. Fucking Roman loves Chris. Every time Chris comes over, Roman just can't get enough of Chris. I remember like the first time you met him, you're like, "This is the happiest dog in the world." I'm like, "Yeah, he's a happy little dude." Yeah, Chris came over. We're playing board games, and Roman had just kind of gotten like tuckered out, and he fell asleep on Chris. So you. Love you. Love you. All right, we're gonna watch this trailer. Do I get this for PS5 or do I get this for Switch? Pressing a dual wield hammer build. I think you go 2-weapon fighting. Fighter with the charge bound warhammer. I need to see what other, and the Defender's Flail will be good. You could cheese it and do the Diva Mace. The Handmaiden's Mace is nice. It sets your strength to 18. Probably Blood of Lathander. Where is... There's no good light hammers in the game. Not really. Which one's Hammer the Just? Oh, against Fiends and Undead from the Tabernacle. You know, I really fucking like the Faithbreaker. It just does a lot of... No, I wouldn't do 12 Fighter. I would do... I think I'd do 6. I would do 6 Eldritch Knight Fighter to get the bound ability here onto this. That would give you the charge bound Warhammer. And this weapon has a +1 bonus to damage and attack rolls. Deals an additional 1d6 lightning bonus. And then when you bind it, it's going to have even more damage, right? So I think it becomes a +2 or it becomes a +3 after you bind it, right? Does someone know off the top of their head? So I go Chargebound Warhammer in one hand. Throwing this, I thought it said a dwarf using this hammer. Damn it. I always thought it was a dwarf using this hammer. I would honestly probably do the Blood of Lathander, which you get in Act 1. And I would do the Chargebound Warhammer, which I think you get in Act 3 only. Oh no, Daemon and Last Light In. So you're online really quick with this. So you've got Chargebound Warhammer in Act 2 right at the very beginning. And you get the Blood of Lathander right there in the very beginning. Too, at the end of Act 1. And this thing will last you so long. It's gonna be great through Act 2 as well. It's a +3, which is even better. I would go with that. 6 levels into Eldritch Knight to get your charge bound online on everything. And then I would put probably 6 levels into Cleric, into specifically War Cleric, because yeah, okay, good. We get our War God's Blessing, so you can add +10 to your damage rolls. Yeah, Charge Hammer is Act 2, right at the beginning of Act 2. You're going to get it from Daemon, assuming you didn't destroy the Grove. But with this, you innately get Spirit Guardians. So Spirit Guardians, you're dual-wielding hammers. No, attack roll's not damage. Did I say damage? Yeah, +10 to your attack roll. Sorry, I meant to say attack roll. You get Spirit Guardians. You get the War God's Blessing. You get your War Priest charges. You get your extra attack. So in a turn, you can do 3 attacks which is awesome at level 5. And the nice thing about this too is that this War Priest charge turns on right away. So Guided Strike is for your own attacks. War Gods, that's right. Sorry. Guided Strikes is for your attacks. War Gods you throw off to your friends. You can use as a reaction. It just uses your Channel Divinity, which sucks, but still. Yep, well, a level 6, right? You have to be level 6 because you got to have 5 levels into your fighter. Oh, well, yeah, I guess I forgot about the offhand portion of this. So you'll do your 2 main hand attacks with your extra attack. Then you'll do your offhand attack. Then at level 6, once you get Cleric, you'll do an extra main hand attack because of the War Priest extra charge. So you'll do 4 bits of damage here, which is cool. No, I don't think it's worth it because you're talking about another offhand attack, which isn't bad, but I'd rather use the War Priest. War Priest just use the bonus action? Well, fuck my ass. Well, if you think of it that way, then you're using 3. I mean, you could do 1 War Priest. You could do 2 War Priest, 3 Thief. And then you've got lots, but I kind of like getting Spirit Guardians online for that build, Shetland. If that's the kind of build you want, do you want like a low-key caster character? And you don't even need to have any wisdom to use Spirit Guardians. It just makes it more effective because even if they resist it, they still take half damage, and no matter what, they get their movement speed reduced. Hi, G. What up, Beef Panda? Dual wielding build. Dual wielding hammer build, specifically. But then after that, though, I would make sure to take 2 weapon fighting. Probably resilient constitution to help out with my concentration rolls with my Spirit Guardians. Savage attacker for sure. That's probably how I do it, Shet. Does that help you, bro? Yeah, dual wielder feat for sure. And the 2 weapon fighting fighting style for fighter. Do you want to do a dwarf? Yeah, I would do a
Steadfast supporter.
I mean, I would wear the dwarven split mail is actually really good. Cool looking too. Yeah, you can use shield because you'll be an Eldritch Knight. So with an Eldritch Knight, which scales off of intelligence, but you don't need to use any of that intelligence. So we're taking a look at Eldritch Knight at 6, Cleric 6. You'll still have all these spell slots. No, it does not, Dronizos. That's what I was looking at. I thought it did too. That's what I made that mental distinction, but it does not. So if we're thinking about what the character would look like from a starting perspective, they can cast magic missiles, which doesn't... Who cares about your intelligence in that case? You just do it with a... Professor, I can do it right now for you if you want to get that achievement. So I'd go fighter to start off. We go 2 weapon fighting. Actually, you know what? Are you going heavy armor, Shet? Do you want to do heavy armor? High AC Oathbreaker Sworkaden. Do you want to do damage with your weapon or with a ranged spell, Zen? Probably that. Actually, you know, probably that if it's my main character. More melee. You know, it's useful for initiative, but you know, I mean, we're going. All right. You go heavy armor, it's null and void, so it's good for initiative, but I don't necessarily see that as being a huge draw. To be totally honest, I don't want penalty, but I think I'd rather have something like that. We're not making dex saves if we got heavy armor on. Dex saves, I guess. Yeah, yes, good point. Yeah. You can steal heavy armor right at the very beginning. That breastplate. Oh, I meant to be medium. Would you go Sword Bard Paladin or Sorcerer Paladin in terms of most optimized build for solo run? I don't really know those kind of answers. Know how to answer those questions, Emily. I'm not really good at solo runs. Sen Lord. I do have a Sorcerer video out. This might help you out, dude. Go ahead and you watch that, Zen. Oh, on Oathbreaker specifically. What did I do? I think I did Ancients. You just want to use it thematically for Oathbreaker? Or is there a specific draw from Oathbreaker that you want? Like, I want to do the necrotic damage. What up, Adrian? I'm planning on doing a casual playthrough. I want to play an enchantment wizard. Any advice? Yeah, just take 12 levels into enchantment. No big deal. Just have fun. You can just simply play just like that. And if you're playing a casual playthrough, just press use recommended and just use whatever stats they give you. There's no reason to super optimize it if you're doing a casual playthrough. Is this optimized? Not at all. If I posted this onto Reddit and said, hey guys, what do you think of my ability points? I would get flamed and downvoted. But honestly, if you're just playing to have fun, just keep it like this. You can turn all these things into even numbers if you really want, but you're not going to necessarily care if you're on casual mode, dude. Just have fun with it. Just put 12 levels into an enhancement wizard and enjoy. Don't let the internet tell you how to play. Just play how you want. Thinking about doing an evil run. Okay, well then. Thank you, man. Appreciate it. What is this? This is vengeance? Oh, cool. I'm not fucking smart. So, level wise, I would probably go 7-5. So 7 level. I'm assuming you said want to go more melee. So I would go 7 levels into Paladin, and I would dump a lot of points into my charisma, of course. Am I on the right screen still? Cool. If I was starting off as a Sorcerer, probably that. I mean, actually, no, I would do that. And then I would take Resilient Constitution, because that's going to push me to 16. if you're going to focus on melee, maybe not take Resilient Constitution because you're playing a Sorcerer. That's exactly what I was just thinking about Salami is, oh man, I got to think about how I would divvy out Constitution. Because if I start with a Sorcerer, I don't get heavy armor, but I get proficiency in Constitution, which helps with Constitution saves. If I do Resilient Constitution, I get that proficiency, so I don't need to worry about it. But then it allows me to start as a Paladin, where I then don't need to worry about that period. So I think you kind of, if you really want to min-max it, you do that so you get 16 Constitution at level 4. If you want to go with a two-handed weapon, you get Great Weapon Mastery, but you're only going to get 2 feats. So I think that ability point improvement to Charisma is the better route than improving your strength. Sure, you're going to do more melee damage, but a +1 to your Charisma helps your class across the board. Your Aura of Hate gives you 1 more additional damage, and all your spells are now better. So I think ability score improvement on a Charisma to 18, and then you can improve this so many more ways, right? You can improve it through Birthright or other fucking helmets and shit like that. It's really easy to increase your Charisma, and you can take an elixir to increase your strength if you really need to. But then I think that's kind of how you go. This is not going to be fun for saves. Maybe you kind of get like that. Yeah, you don't, if you want to non-stop chug strength potions, you really need to. But honestly, I just think that like your Charisma focus is a bigger role for this character. And then after that, item-wise, Arcane Acuity helmet's really good. The mental strength one, the one that gives you, oh, Aura of Protection will help with save. That's right. Also, you can't be charmed. Can you not be charmed as a Paladin? Maybe it's the Ancient's Paladin's immune to it or something. I can't remember. Aura of Courage. That's what I'm thinking of. They can't be frightened. But either way, yeah, maybe we. I didn't think you do it. Get weird. Yeah, maybe it is devotion. Yeah, or devotion. Maybe charmed. Get fucking frisky with it, dude. Like I said though, item-wise, just have fun. Choose things that have Arcane Acuity on them. Use Arcane Acuity stuff, because that'll give you benefits across the board. You could use, like Will has got on nothing. Oh, this helmet. The helmet. Where's the helmet? Great Weapon Master, yeah. This helmet. Whenever you deal damage with a weapon attack, you gain +2 to Arcane Acuity. Arcane Acuity +1 bonus to attack +1 bonus to its spell attack rolls and spell difficulty for each remaining turn. Yeah, the diadem off the Crush is really good. Arcane Synergy. I think it's probably a really good one in lieu of taking like Birthright, just increase your Charisma by 2. The reason you want to increase your Charisma by 2 is it will key off of Oathbreaker, which at level 7, right? You and nearby undead fiends, whatever, get additional damage to melee weapon attacks per your Charisma modifier. So if you're at 16, you're at 3. If you got it up to 18 through ability improvement, that's 4. Birthright gets you to 5. And now you just get +5 to all of your weapon damage. That's a huge, just flat increase. Item is +3 or +4 attack and damage. Yeah, that's huge. That's so good. I don't have the diadem of Arcane Synergy on me, unfortunately. Here, this. We can use the technology of the internet to show you what it's like in the future. People shit backwards and poop forwards. So, when you inflict a condition, you gain Arcane Synergy, which is different than the other one. Weapon attacks deal additional damage equal to affected entity's spell casting ability modifier. which is what our charisma would be. 3, 4, 5, depending on. It's birthright just adds more. It just depends on how you want to do it. Shattered flail. That's the one I'm thinking of. Hitting an enemy with this weapon heals whatever for 1d6 when they can go mad if they don't. I wouldn't know. I think it's. I hate this weapon. It looks really dumb. I do not like it. One of my favorite. If I wanted to go with the flail, I'd do this one. This is the one I was talking about earlier. Defender flail. Reduces incoming damage by 1.
Guide Elaine, a young prince on a journey to liberate
What
nations
system?
from mighty empires dominion.
Do we switch this or do I PS5 it?
Form your strategy.
I feel like Switch is kind of like the way to go, right?
On the opposing Zenoiran forces. Your real-time strategy planning will turn the tide of
It's like Fire Emblem meets Final Fantasy Tactics.
allies, or be faced with difficult decisions.
Like, look, you guys get to evolve and have a fucking cool ass horse.
Unicorn Overlord. Launching March 8th.
I love how it's like Atlas games are always like, did you see these fucking delicious bacon and soft-boiled egg galettes? Where can I find that? They don't have that at Starbucks. Or a fresh sliced ham salad, perhaps? Could I fancy you with some fresh picked grapes? Or an ajid cheese spread? Ooh, clearly a Switch game. Yeah, I don't know which one to get it on. $5 donation here from Travis. Just love your content, bro. How about a build race? Sorcerer who can use heavy armor, rapids, lol, strong smack, and here you go, Travis. We actually were just going over that. It was a Sorcerer build. Or my Ice Guardian build too. Oh. Either one of these will help you out, my dude. Bardlock with a sword. Would you do a wield with a... What kind of Bardlock, William? Will is a Bardlock right now. He's a Lord Bardlock. Bardadin, like the sword or Bardlock. Do you want to focus more on the melee portion or the casting? Sorry, guys. Whew. Anything you'd want to do with the Gloomstalker again. And again, thank you for the $5 donation, Travis. Very much appreciated, my brew. Let me do this real quick. All right, joining us.
Still alive. So that's progress.
What am I? Melee Rangerish build. I think I've got one, Mr. Bones. This is my character kind of. We were saying just 12 levels into Warlock is actually just fucking solid. But you can go Sword Bard for 100%. Just go Sword Bard. You can just do a straight. You can do a straight 5-7 or 6-6 split. The Dern, I did that with my Inquisitor build. No worries, Rodrigo. Here you go, dude. Guys, if you're watching on YouTube, maybe that's Twitch, to Switch, to Switch, to Twitch, to Switch. Switch, my Twitch. Put your Switch on my Twitch. Put your balls on my ass. Hey guys, thanks for coming to my stream. You probably don't know that I'm like this if you only watch my videos. I would probably use the Undermountain King. Focus on Dex Charisma for abilities or bound weapon and go more Charisma. That I would probably do like 14 Constitution, William, and then I'd put 17 into Charisma. Use the Hag's Hair to get me to 18, and then I would do that.
Loyal devotee.
That's how I get 18 charisma out the gate, because charisma is just going to be so huge for your bard abilities. And since you can pack blade and make it so that all of your weapon attacks use your charisma anyway, you don't need any dexterity or strength outside of just increasing your initiative and giving you some dex or AC. So is this ninja going to use their fists, or are we using weapons, Johnny's? 14 dex, 16 con, 17 crit. I think that's perfect. Actually, those are not done. Aren't there like stalker gloves? Oh, you do damage if you're sneaking. Are they +1 to crit if you're sneaking? How gloves like that exist? Oh, that's still not bad though. Force damage is always really good, you know. I don't have another really good weapon here, unfortunately. That'll have to do for now. I don't have the Hall the Under Mountain King sword blade. But I did this. That just looks really cool.
Fate spins along as it should. Dost thou require a new ally? Or mayhaps as...
Okay, so what are we starting off, Johnny's? Are we starting off as a monk? Is that our spread? So 9 gets us advanced and onward movement. I have hair. Character's got hair. Oh, I had hair. Only me that doesn't have the hair. Art's high, pass out a trace, darkness, cool. 5, focus shadows. I want Shadow Step in the build. I definitely want Shadow Step in the build. We're definitely going up to 6 minimum. I wish we could go to 11. The problem I have with Shadow Strike is it's fucking 3 key points, man. Okay. Yeah, did you hear a necklace to get to the 18? I could see that. Help from Shadow. Yeah, exactly. You have to. But I don't like the cost of it. It's not worth it to me. Okay, so we jump up here. We go Way of Shadows. Feet wise. Alert maybe? Unfortunately, there's not a lot of good, aside from Tavern Brawler, obviously, but put it into Dex, or you just go hard on the pain on Wisdom and use Hag Hair into Dex. Okay, Dex it is. I know people are going to shit on this and go, well, you could just use those strength elixirs and go there. Like, yeah, man, but maybe I don't want to fucking do that. Look at shadows, wrap yourself in shadows to become third. That's my point. Like, people weren't using the Tavern Brawler Monk when the game came out. And then people discovered it, and now people are like shitting on anything else. It's like, dude, just let people enjoy playing this monk how they want. Yeah, sure. Is there a super optimal way? 100%, but what fun is it to play the game the way everyone else is, man? Like, and that's half the fun of D&D is playing how you want. I'm excited to try that. I don't think I have a lot of the obscured stuff. It's super OP, you know, to the point where you're just like, good God, every time that character gets a turn, things are trivial. Okay, we get another one. Monado from Bruto. I don't know, actually, it's like. And just jump into Dex more here. What do you mean? There are only 4 viable builds for. You know, John, why not Savage Attacker though, since we are using melee weapons? I mean, yeah, 20 Dex is crispy. Let's see what it's like. I mean, I'm gonna go fucking test it a bunch. Now we jump over to Rogue. Yeah, you're right. Dex is also hit chance. That's a great point. And we Assassin. Okay, that's pretty fucking cool, man. That's pretty goddamn cool, dude. It doesn't cost anything.
Softer than a whisper.
Is there a shadow behind you? That's gonna be pretty fun. Okay, so right now we have advantage right there, right? Oh, are we still in fucking... Crap.
Let's be on my way.
You're going to hire all the refugees. Just like that.
Yeah, I definitely see it. I just wish I had the Hall of the Undermounted King. I know it's not the Hall of the Undermounted King, but I always think of that song every time I see it.
Back again. Want a dagger? Or a bow? Need more arrows? Need a spear?
Thanks, dude. Oh, dude. Oh, dude. Oh, dude. That's good. Okay, so why Kushigo boots? Those don't work here. That's the subjugator, the surgeon subjugators thing. Oh, that's a great call with these. That's a real good call. For flurry of blows from time to time. Okay, I can see the value there. Soul Perception Mask. So, why is Soul Perception Mask not this? Because since we will be obscured a lot. Dude, I'm gonna duplicate that right now. I'm gonna go to... Alright now, Minster. You gave him the keys to the kingdom. Like, shut up. Let the boy watch. I don't think you did Black and Azure, but... Ooh, oh god, you did not. The black is it Black and Jade Green? Oh god, not that either. Black and Summer Green? Oh god, it's not that either. Is it really Black and Jade? It didn't look... Yours looks so much cooler than mine. Look at that. Like, I mean, look at this picture, man. Look at how sick Johnny Lewis's characters looks. Look at mine. I guess it's kind of the same, but it doesn't look as cool. You'd switch the boots. Take a look at these little guys. I do forget about Flurry of Blows. Off 10. Where is it? Yeah, they're on me. That is a pretty cool, fun, sneaky ass build. I like that. This is a cool little ninja. Oh, okay. What would you go with instead? Misty Step, I think, would be pretty cool here, just to be able to kind of like, yeah, sure, I know I can do this, but this is like a kind of a free get out of jail free. Yeah. Damn, that's pretty cool, man. Ignores resistances. 8 to 15. One exploit weakness. Creatures hit with this weapon receive vulnerability to piercing damage. So we ignore resistance and they become vulnerable. Like that's a good 1-2 punch right in the dick hole. Well, this is the ninja build that we're gonna be making. Jornizos already drummed it up. Obscured. Yeah, that's pretty fun. That's pretty cool. I think this is the kind of like stealthy assassin build a lot of people would want, and they probably don't know how to get to it. And all this is considered monk weapons, so it's pretty fun. Meaning deal 1 to attacks with monk weapons and unarmed attacks deal 1 to 8 bludgeoning damage unless their normal damage is higher. Yeah, it really is, John. Like I love it. Like, these happen to both be light and finesse weapons, so it works. But even leveling up, if we come across weapons that aren't, we can use them. Like you could use Falar Aluve. Even though this one says finesse, it's like the only like fucking light, the only fucking longsword is finesse. But I mean, I think the only downside is we are dual wielding, and we're not getting any benefit of dual wielding. Like we're not getting like the fighting style of dual wielding, which I still think is fine. I don't think it's too big of a deal. I think we saved that. That's pretty fun. Thank you, man. That's a really cool build. God, it just looks so cool with the... Oh, man. Shade Slayer Cook, too. I like the red on that. That's kind of sexual and exciting, though. Very green. That's true. Yeah, you do get it with that. Well, guys, I think that's going to be it for the day. That's a pretty good little wombo combi. Oceans die? Why? What does that one do? I don't think I have any oceans. Oh, teal, I got you. Don't. I'm out of it. Guys, thank you so much for watching here today. I hope you had fun, like kind of going through some fun community builds. You can kind of scrub through these and find some fun ones here and there. Oh, that's right. No, just one it is. But I'll work on this ninja build. Basically, I know what it is, so I'll probably slap it up here Monday. I might make it tomorrow. Who knows? But thanks guys so much for hanging out and having fun with me. If you're watching on YouTube, do jump on over to Twitch here. We'll do a little raid. We'll see who we raid. If there's anything specific you guys want to watch, just let me know. And we'll spread the love here. Spread the love. The raid. Oh, yeah. Come on over. Jump on over from YouTube to Twitch. Let's get a raid going here. We'll include things. I don't even know what the fuck I'm going to eat for lunch, man. Caloric deficit sucks, dude. Can't eat anything cool. But bro, thank you so much for watching here today. Thank you so much for making headway on our monthly. We're at 13 out of 200 for the month on our subs. So thank you very much for some headway on that, my dudes. But we'll be back here on Tuesday with another stream. But I'm going to start getting ready to start doing a lot of Dragon's Dogma content. So they're just going to have a lot of videos kind of geared towards the vocations, how they work, kind of showing off like what that kind of content is like. So you'll see all that action coming up here in the next couple weeks and months. That comes out March 22nd, 21st, something like that. So we'll have a lot of fun with that and do those things as they kind of come out. But guys, thank you so much for watching. Have a good weekend. Wash your hands. Stay safe. Take care. I'll see you bros on Tuesday. But go and enjoy yourself. And raid is starting now.